just going, hey, Murphy, you ever thought about doing an audiobook?
Oh, my gosh. But let me do this first. And then you got to say it. God. Lamont Sweat.
Love you, Lamont.
Oh,
Respect,
we
Lamont.
do love you, Lamont.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, I wonder if he's watching right now.
I got nothing. I'm just kidding. I do.
Oh.
Damn it. Don't do that, Jeff.
I know.
Well, you
It's
just
my
had good fun.
adrenaline going. That's like when you're in a car with somebody and it's riding shotgun and they go, oh.
Right.
God dang it. We wouldn't have gotten
Okay,
that
not
accident if
that,
you would have
but
scared the
now-
shit out of me. Yeah.
Yep.
Now we're in the ditch. Thanks.
That's it. That's it. Hey, Storm. Hi, Paul. Lee B. Jesse Gardinas. Vibrator.
Hi, baby.
Do you hear me?
Huh?
You hear me?
I hear you.
Okay.
You can't
I
hear
don't
you?
hear me.
You want you louder? How about now?
Yeah, that's good. I don't know why you hear me, but I guess only you guys know.
Hey, Darren. Hooligan Nation. Jay Morse from Salt City, Silver and Black. What's up, my
Jay?
friend? Just win, Wendy.
Hey, Wendy.
Wendy. My girl. There you go. Now you can turn it down.
How's that, Uncle Mosh? Are you good now?
Well, I was thinking the other day.
I got an issue. Hey, Jay Jackson. Atticus B. Rockin'.
What's up, Jay?
B. Al. Should have called, Atticus. You should have called.
Yeah.
We love a good rant.
It's my
We do.
favorite.
Oh, wait, I got to smell this other stuff up. I always forget.
Oh.
All right, here we go. It's episode number 302 of Raiders Fan Radio, and we're just going to do this because we have to. I'm just kidding. Love you guys.
We're obligated.
All right, here we go.
Hey, it's Mike Garafolo, NFL Network here in the home office.
Jeez, I don't know. Is it going now? I think it's going now. But they can hear us too, so we got to shut up.
Oh, shoot.
Hey, it's Mike Garafolo, NFL Network here in the home office, and you are listening to the Raiders Fan Radio podcast, taking that lighter journey into the dark side with Murf, Swag Jeff, and Michelle. She's got great hair. It's a little pink, it's a little purple, whatever it is. I'll tell you what, if I could grow it, I would sign up for that color today. So listen to her and the entire crew as they give you all the information on the Raiders on the podcast that benefits the One Nation Foundation. It's a great cause. It's a great pod. Tune in, turn it up. Here it comes. All that Raiders info and takes coming at you right now.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, L.A., Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murf's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Paletnikov, a leaping pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you
I don't know
get
what's
great
going on.
players. You have a great organization.
This thing's a disaster. This thing's a
know
damn
what's
disaster.
going
I don't
on.
know what the hell's going on. The freaking video just quit, and I don't know if the sound's working or not. we're about as
We're in
operable
shambles.
as we're in about as operable as a Patrick Graham led defense going on over here. Yeah,
Well,
let
it
me
might
know.
be more operable than that.
Oh my gosh! Let me know if you guys can hear us okay there in the chat room, because we're just gonna go and get this thing going and hope for the best. Welcome to episode number 303. Yeah, we're
Sounds
good.
good, yeah.
All right, we're episode number 303 of Raiders Fan Radio, where, as we mentioned, we are in shambles because our team is in shambles and the rest of Raider Nation is in shambles. And Jeff and I were talking a little bit about it before we started tonight. Like, I always love getting together with our amazing listening audience, the amazing folks that are in the chat room. Get to hang out in here with my besties here in the fan cave. But man, this was a rough one to prepare
tough,
for.
yeah.
This was to be this down, this bad, this early in a season where we had, last year we had, of course, these amazing lofty expectations, and I think that we all went into it at least reserved a little bit, even though some of us 13-4.
It's 4-13 actually.
There you go. Okay. All right. but I think we all had at least a metered expectation, and now that even has been blown out of the water. So, anyways, whatever. But we're gonna get through it together. We've got an absolute crap ton to get through tonight here at Raiders Fan Radio. So we're gonna jump right on into it. And so, because we've got all the emails, we've got all the voicemails tonight from you guys. The majority of this show is going to be the Sea of Fans mailbag, and in fact, we're going to kind of reserve a lot of our comments around the game and even our upcoming game against the Chargers. We're going to reserve those just and save them for the feedback. We're going to keep it real conversational tonight. We always say about this show, it's conversational when it's at its best. And you all had a lot to say this week, so we want to honor that. And so we'll keep our comments around yours. And so thank you very much for all of those of you that called in this week, that sent your emails in this week. And I appreciate everybody that's in the chat room tonight. I will leave them to my best friend and yours to shout them out. Swag Jeff, who do we got there in the chat room? And welcome to Raiders Fan Radio, my best friend and yours, Swag Jeff.
Here's styling and profiling.
Yeah, he is, as always.
Oh, your camera's not on. Keep talking.
Oh, my camera's not on. Well, good. Well, because they need to see my new hat. Mm-hmm. It says no images in this view. Too much swag for one camera. There it goes.
There's
It's
some sweet imaging.
Like
now.
the Yeti.
Oh, nice. He's never been photographed.
Exactly.
Oh man, I'm happy-ish to be here.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you said. I love hanging out with my two besties right here, and I love hanging out with Raider Nation because that's what makes Raider fandom so much better. But we're down bad. We're down pretty damn bad, man. That was just a shit show, and we'll talk about it, I guess, because we have to. But more importantly, the folks in the chat, the wonderful folks that tuned in. It's Kill Jadis, the grumpy ass Raider fan. Yoshi's in there. Vegas Raider Pete, Jay Morris, Raider Lorian. Happy birthday, my friend. Sholo Man is in there. Let's see who else is in there. Cool Cody Thompson's in there. Atticus be rockin'. Paul is in there. Yeah, Joe Estrada's in there. Storm is in there. Atticus be rockin'. DJ Lenny Danger's in there.
Hey, Lenny.
Hooligan Nation. Sheila, who's tuning in from Scottsdale. Welcome in, Sheila. So hey, but Murph, we don't do this show alone.
Oh.
And thank goodness for that. So to my left over here, adorning the bartender spot yet again here in Murph's Fan Cave, please welcome in Michelle Swag.
Hey guys, I got to take this moment to, if Lamont, if you're watching, I left my ring at the house, but I didn't do it on purpose. So I felt like I needed to make that clear in case he sees me talk with my hands. He's going to notice. But
yeah.
I was cleaning my studio table today, and I don't like to have my ring on when I'm working.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
So he knows, though, I do it a lot. So he's used to that. But listen, Raider Nation, we are down bad. But it seems too soon to be down bad, man. It's awfully early to be down bad. But you know what? But here we are. So what can you do?
There you go.
Thank God for Raider Nation, though. Because without, Raider Nation, it'd be really hard to be
but
down
Raider
bad.
Nation's down bad,
Raider
too.
Nation's, we're down bad together.
We're
all down bad
We're down
together.
bad
There's a lot of
together, and
sad
that's
sackery
honestly
going on.
Listen,
That's
I'm
right.
sad sack. Every day I wake up and I'm like, I'm not gonna think about the freaking Raiders today, and then I do. So
That's true. Hey, listen, like you said,
here we are.
We're all
We're together.
We're all in this together.
And we're the three best friends that anybody could have. We're the three best friends that anyone could have. We're the three best friends that anyone can have. And we'll never, ever, 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 ever leave each other.
Oh, that's true.
That is
right.
true.
That's
That's
precious.
true.
I love that.
Well, except for that one guy.
Oh, well, that's that.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. We got, as I mentioned, we got a lot to get to tonight. But before we get going, I just want to remind you that our good friends at Fansided support this podcast and give us some amazing advertising opportunities. Jeez, Josh, Murf, whatever my name is. I don't know.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Doesn't matter. So we appreciate the folks at Fansided and Just Blog Baby, where we are the official Raiders podcast, and appreciate them and their endorsement of this show. And we've also got a brand new advertiser that's coming on tonight, and you can see it there. We're going to do our official Manscaped read coming up here in just a minute, and we've got a really cool opportunity, Raider Nation, for you guys to take advantage of not only some discounted merch, but to also launch a corporate sponsor of this show into the old stratosphere, as the kids say.
That's it.
We've got an amazing earning opportunity pending based on our performance here early on with Manscaped, and 100% of that money, of course, is going to go to the One Nation Foundation. So look forward to telling you about that here in a minute. But before we get to all that, this is episode number 302.
Yeah.
And so my best friend in yours, Swag Jeff, always takes our episode number and ties it back to something significant within Raider Nation. And so, Swaggo, who do we have tonight?
Absolutely. Well, man, so for this one, for episode 302, we're going back.
Uh-oh.
How far you going back?
Way back.
As we go a little something like this.
Hit it! So we are going to go back to, so the year 1993.
Well done, Swag Jeff.
Nicely
Well, yeah,
done.
Of course.
Man.
You know, I got so much shit on the show for not knowing that. And so now I live, sleep, and breathe it.
You
Good.
practice, you practice, don't
Yeah,
you?
good.
Yeah,
So
100%.
that's good
100%.
stuff.
So we're going to be highlighting a guy from 93 to 95. We're going to be talking, of course, about Rocket Ishmael.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
nice.
So yeah, so
that might be a first.
it's the first time ever that we brought him up
Yeah,
on
I
the
think
show.
so.
So not, much respect to you, Rocket. So so Rocket played from 93 to 95 for the Raiders as a receiver and also as the occasional kick returner. So in his career with the Raiders, he had 88 receptions for 1,357 yards and 9 touchdowns.
9?
So, yeah, as a receiver, if we don't like math, but we like numbers.
Love
around
'em.
here, you know what I mean? So if you break that down per game that he played for the Raiders, he averaged 30.2 yards per game.
Oh,
302. It's tough to find those average yards a game when we get up into the 300
That's right,
shows. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So much
Yeah.
respect, Rocket.
Very cool. So for those of you that are in the chat room, we appreciate you very, very much. You can see Vibrator is in there, Hooligan
Yes, she
Nation,
is.
and
Getting
she's
some amazing.
Oh, the emojis.
she's
Oh
putting out
my gosh, yes.
the amazing new emojis. And so,
You got the one with me with the Kill Jada's F face.
yeah. And so there's only one way to get those.
Member, cabrón. Member. You member. You don't member. You member. Shit, you cried a lot. That's remember.
All right, so you can become a member just by hitting the join button there. If you're on an Apple device, you got to go to Safari and go to YouTube that way.
Yep.
And then you can get in there and you can what am I trying to say? Yeah, you can get in there and you can join that way. You can't do it through the YouTube app on iOS, but every other device you can just hit the join, and then it costs you $5. And not only are you able to get all those amazing emojis, I've got a close-up of Aiden O'Connell's face. We've got Al. We've got Jeff. We've got Derek Carr. We've got all kinds of really fun emojis in there. And so you can do those. But more importantly than the digital stuff you can get,
Yeah.
you can get something, you can get physical media, as the kids say. And right? And you can get this one-of-a-kind design card print by Michelle. They are lettered they are signed and they are numbered, and there's only going to be 100 of them. Yep. So the first 100 of you that become a member, you will get that card in the mail. All you got to do is email Michelle, that's MICHELLE, at RaidersFanRadio.com.
Yeah.
Damn it, Josh.
Just like Vegas
blew
Raider
it.
Pete just did,
Hey!
became a member.
Thank you,
Yep.
Vegas Raider Pete. And so-
Michelle at RaidersFanRadio.com. Pete and you will get one of those.
right.
Yep, one of those prints right there.
That is awesome. That is awesome. All right, Swag Jeff, let's hit a break, and then let's talk about Manscaped.
Now let's talk about our
Do
balls.
it. Let's talk about our balls.
Former Los Angeles Raiders. Yeah, back in the old days, baby. And you're listening to Murf and Uncle Mosh, who happens to have the same hair as me. Check it out, Raiders Fan Radio.
All right, so I want to thank the good folks at Manscaped for their partnership with us here at Raiders Fan Radio, and we're going to do a little bit of a live unboxing.
Yes.
So the Manscaped folks sent all three of us their amazing Lawnmower 4.0 kit. Jeff and I had a chance to use ours over the weekend. Michelle is going to take hers home, and are you going to give it to Lamont?
I'm going to give it to Lamont, yeah.
All right, so she's going to give it to Lamont. So we're going to do an unboxing here of what you get in a kit. Now, I can tell you real quick, Raider Nation, if you go to Manscaped, use the promo code Murf. That is MURF. Use that promo code. You will get 20% off of anything that you order from the Manscaped folks.
Yep.
And then what they are going to do is they're going to evaluate how we're going to do here early. And then based on the response that we get from our listening audience, they're going to make a financial commitment to Raiders Fan Radio, most importantly, the One Nation Foundation. So I'll tell you, so as Michelle's getting ready to open this thing up and go through it, Jeff and I are just going to talk you through some of the products that are in here in this kit. So this thing is amazing. The main thing, so there you go. There's the picture there. It's got their different razors and the different, you can get all kinds of different products from Manscaped. Again, doesn't matter what you buy, you automatically get that 20% discount code when you use the promo code Murf. And so show them a little bit of what's going on there. Michelle, show them so there you go. What's that first one there?
This is the Manscaped Crop Preserver.
Yes.
It is a ball deodorant.
Oh my gosh.
It is.
And
I don't know if Kent.
it's awesome. It's like, there you go. Yeah, it's like a lotion
Yeah.
that goes on. And so after you're done doing your whole trimming and all that kind of stuff, you put that stuff on there.
Yep.
And it keeps you nice. And dude, you know what was most impressive to me, Jeff?
Okay, tell
when
me.
we went through this thing and we did our first, go ahead and keep going, Michelle.
Okay,
Let's
yeah.
keep going. How good everything smells.
It smells incredible. Yeah, 100%.
All right,
You know,
this is a Crop Reviver. It is a
Oh, and you've
ball
turned on the-
toner.
Oh, you turned on the.
Oh, I didn't know what that was.
hey, don't tell us about your life. But
I thought Vibe left something here.
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
her
But
side
yeah,
table.
but so you're holding up the
Yeah.
ball toner or the crop toner right there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So crop
It's
reviver,
Crop Reviver
which is a ball
ball
toner.
toner.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's used, and I used it right after I used the lawnmower. So and that kept everything. It kind of prevented the razor bumps and all that stuff, which you're not going to get anyway with Manscaped at all. But man, and again, it smells fantastic. It feels fantastic.
And that thing right there,
Is this
that
the
thing's
lawnmower?
that's the lawnmower.
That's
That thing's the
thing,
jam,
man.
Hold on,
That's
hold
the
on.
That's the
thing.
jam.
Oh yeah, that's got some juice.
Yep, there you go.
It's got some juice, man, and it also. So if you turn that thing back on there, Michelle. So what I really like about that is the light. So the
Oh.
light right there. So if you're giving yourself a trim, if you're
Yeah.
cutting the grass downstairs, man, sometimes it's a little dark.
Yeah, you don't want to
know
mow
what
at
I mean?
night. You
don't
got to
wa-
be able to see.
You got to be
when
able
you're
to see
You need your
what you're
mower to have a
cutting,
light
man.
in front of you. Yeah, you don't want to hurt
Absolutely.
yourself.
Oh my God! And then listen, and I got to tell you, the stuff works so amazing. Valerie, the evening that I used it, she was like, "It's like Christmas morning with all the shiny balls around here."
Oh yeah,
Absolutely,
Hey.
man. Them-
I love a good shiny ball.
They're smooth as eggs, is what the kids
So
say.
there you go. And so then you.
I don't know if the kids say
I don't know
that.
if the kids say that, but we're gonna go. So yeah, there's
Here's the other. This
yeah,
is the
that's the weed whacker. That's the
whacker.
nose and
whacker.
ears trimmer there. There you go. Yep. And so
Okay.
yeah. So great stuff there from the folks at Manscaped.
Yeah.
We appreciate them very, very much. There's underwear in there. There's
Yeah.
the as
These
Jeff
must
said,
be
the toner.
chargers.
That's a
It's
charging
the
stand. It's a
charger, and
wireless
it's
charging
also
stand.
and it's also the guards. So the guards. So if you don't
it's
want
a really
the
nice bag too.
and it's a super nice bag. So if you get
Yeah.
the premium pack right there that comes with all of these things, you get that as a
That
free
shaving
gift
kit's
from
fantastic.
Yeah, that-
Manscaped. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing thing.
It's a hefty bag.
It's a hefty
Yeah.
bag. It's really, really nice.
Hey.
So speaking of your hefty bag, the lawnmower, man, it's all great stuff, man. And what I really like about this lawnmower right here too is that it's kind of got the plastic thing on it, so it's gonna keep you from getting the nicks and stuff like that. So so Murf, tell them again about the promo code and all that stuff, so we can shout out our guys at Manscaped.
Yeah, so go to Manscaped again. Anything you buy, just use promo code Murf. That is MURF, as how we spell it. Just use my name in there. You get that 20% off. And again, we appreciate you, Raider Nation, and because again, 100% of the money that we earn from the Manscaped folks is going right to the One Nation Foundation. So appreciate you, and check them out, manscaped.com, promo code Murf.
Nice.
Woo!
Woo! Hey, Raider Nation, you got your old Uncle Mosh.
I'll put a
here
link in the show
with
notes too, by the way.
Updated contact info.
Storm, I think I
sit
told
up,
you enough.
zip
Storm
up,
says, please keep
shut
telling
up,
me how
and
much you love
pay
it, Swag Jeff.
attention. You can
love that
call
shit,
us at 909-345-3346, or as Murf would say it,
909-345-3346.
How about emailing me? You want to email me? Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast, the Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio, Insta something, Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio, TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio.
Hey, Hammer.
Or what about the Twitch? Some of you.
Twitch.
Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Good.
Oh, we're killing it. Let's
Yeah,
get
it was all right. It was all right.
Oh.
Wasn't our best.
No?
just
Really?
like Sunday night. Wasn't our
Okay.
best.
I
Wasn't
feel
it?
like that was pretty solid, though.
It wasn't
Yeah.
bad.
You know.
But you know what? Pretty solid
wasn't-
ain't good enough.
Well, at least it wasn't 70-20 bad.
Hey, amen.
We may suck,
Amen.
but we don't Broncos suck.
Broncos suck.
That's right.
That's
So
it.
appreciate you, Raider Nation. Whoops. Appreciate you.
Okay, maybe
little
we do.
preemptive respect.
Yeah. So appreciate you, Raider Nation, joining. Pre-respectulation.
Oh,
You hate to see it.
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
Every
Happens to the
time.
best
to
of
all
us.
of us.
I'm
it's a
telling you.
bummer. It does happen. It's okay.
So appreciate you all, Raider Nation, for joining us here. So here at the top of the show, we don't do props, we don't do shout-outs, nothing wrong with those things.
Hell no.
I'm a mumble mouth now, but we're Italian.
I'm so glad that this show is going this way.
Yes,
perfect.
this is the
It's
This is the
perfect.
show that Raider Nation needs.
This
Not
is
to
what
toot
they
our own
need.
horns.
No.
But the
Amen.
Raider Nation is in shambles
we're in
right
shambles.
now.
Like if we don't cheer each other up and have fun and play with this stuff,
Telling you.
that like you know what I
Amen.
mean. Speaking of Manscaped, like if we don't just have fun with it, like what else are we doing, man?
What
like
else?
because
Yeah.
we're just gonna be sad sacking it hard the whole. Shout out Manscaped again. We're just gonna be sacking it hard the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like
Nice.
like,
Do you want a sad sack or a happy sack? Use
Yeah.
Manscaped.
Everybody wants a happy sack.
That's right.
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
right. So, anyways, let's go ahead and jump in. And,
Let's do respect,
Just a little
please.
respect.
Murf, Swaggy J,
I love this show.
Nation. It's time for a little respect. You know,
It's hot.
respect ain't bought,
I know.
it ain't sold, it ain't demanded, it ain't negotiated. It's earned. And without blowing smoke or giving shameless plugs, we want to say salute and much respect to the following folks.
That's how you want them.
Hey,
I don't need to know about your life.
don't tell me about your life.
Just trying to take everybody's mind
Oh
off
my
of
gosh.
the shit show we saw on
Oh
Sunday.
my
yeah.
gosh. It was so ridiculous.
How can you
Mich-
forget about it?
Right? I mean, it's like, and yeah, well, we're gonna get into it in a minute. Do we want to hear at the top, like just a quick little round table?
Yeah.
Around it. Let's do it. Let's
Before respect?
Oh, yeah, we just did. So do this respect.
Yeah, because I've got it's a pretty decent sized respect segment.
Okay.
So for those of for anybody that's just wanting us to kind of like jump into it and talk a little bit about it,
Let's do
how
it.
about we do respect? Well, I'll give you some respect, but let's talk about what just happened.
Okay.
It all sucked.
I mean,
like there's, you know what I mean? Like it's in for those of you that watch the Silver and Black Today show, and thank you for doing that. You saw my post game reaction, and so I'll save you the same takes. Going over
And respect
everything.
to you.
yeah,
Like, I
for
mean,
doing
like,
that.
dude, like you were fiery and half drunk, but like, man, like you were right on the money, man.
And you
like,
showed up at the podium to speak. Good job, because
Well,
I wouldn't
thanks,
have.
Michelle.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
you.
I mean, because it's the voice of the fan segment is what you're a part of, and
Yeah.
And you really spoke on behalf of a lot of Raider Nation. I mean, we were all in our fields just like you were, and I, and
Yeah.
you didn't say anything wrong. It was
Thanks,
good,
man.
It was good.
Yeah,
That's very
it was
kind. Thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
if you didn't catch it, Raider Nation, make sure you go back. If you want to listen live
Right,
post
yeah.
game, after a shit show like what we watched on Sunday night. But man, it was good. It was good.
Well,
It
thank
was
you.
good, yeah.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate that, Michelle. Thank you. And, I kind of say this. So, if you've listened to this show long enough, you know that we were endless Derek Carr supporters until he wasn't our quarterback anymore.
Totally.
And then we kind of swung the other way. And one of the things that we said in defense and support of Derek going into the season last year, when we were all let down from that 6-11 season, was that from this point going forward, the excuses are gone. Like, you've literally got your best friend who is the greatest receiver in football. They've addressed numerous positions to take advantage of his skill set and the talents that he was able to bring to the table. Now there are definitely still conversations in there in terms of disconnect with him and McDaniels and or the concepts that were going around with the offense. But we do know that anyway, I'll save you the Derek Carr story. My point is, though, since we were so willing to hold Derek to that standard of, well, there's not any excuses anymore, my takeaway from this game, well, Josh McDaniels, you don't get excuses anymore. Like,
Nope.
We are fully into the throes of year 2. We sure as shit ought to see some improvement. And the ultimate sign to me for the entirety of my football fan watching career, and I know it's pales in comparison, but coaching youth sports and things, when you look around the entire landscape of coaching, there is one thing you never want to see, and that's regression. And this team has done nothing but regress since the day Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler took the helm. Now, I'll also say this, that I was supportive of the moves that the Raiders made until there's reason to not be. And so while I thought in the moment Mike Mayock and Rich Bisaccia deserved another shot based on the inspired performance that they got from that team, let's not make a mistake. That team was not built for long-term success. There was a lot of emotion going on that propelled us to that 10-6, and there was also a lot of help going on around the league for us to close out those 4 wins to make that playoff spot. So let's not pretend like we had some freaking idyllic program going on at the time that was going to sail off into a championship. That wasn't what we had. But I do think that the effort and the energy and the spirit those men brought to that team deserved at least a second look, and we never got it. Yeah. So at the time, I felt like they got a raw deal, but then when we look at what McDaniels and Ziegler were and are with their pedigree, their friends, their ability to work together, their philosophies, I thought, okay, I'm willing to give it a shot. Well, after a full year in which we went to the shitter last year, and now here in year 2, and seemingly it's only gotten worse, we're only seeing that the players are, I don't want to say there's division yet, but wait till we get to these comments from Davante Adams. You're going to hear that they're starting to lose the locker room. And that was the only way I felt they weren't going to get year 3 was if they really lose the locker room. So to be this down, this bad, this early, we scored 17 points on a goddamn Bronco team that got 70 hung on them. Oof. And this is all we're able to come up with, you offensive guru. So last year, and people accuse me of being a bootlicker and all that other crap, save it, because there was a point last year where I started calling these guys out for moving the goalpost. I started calling them out for the idea that, you told us this was an AFC championship team, and now you're telling us that you got to wait. now we got to trust the process and the system, and you got to bring in your guys and all that. No, that wasn't the messaging early on. Well, now here we go again. They're starting to change the messaging, and it's week 3. God dang it. We're still in September, and we're still dealing with this shit. Like, so, I'm going to give it to Jeff here. I'm going to shut up because I said I was going to keep it brief, but God dang it, I'm telling you, I'm getting all fired up again, just like I was on Silver and Black today, because like, I don't like the conversations, the terms of like, oh, we deserve more. But at the same time, there is a spirit around this franchise that has existed for the most part for 20 goddamn years. It doesn't matter what coaches, it doesn't matter what players, it doesn't matter what front office person. It's the same shit every year. And so I think Raider Nation, we are getting fed up and burnt out on that. And so like, while I can love being with you guys, and I can love being with the chat room, and I can love our fan base, our team is a bucket of ass. And then, oh, by the way, we got freaking 40,000 terrible towels swinging in the freaking in our home game. Like, it's just insult on injury on insult, and we're getting burnt out. I'm getting burnt out on it. These colors don't come off. The freaking ink doesn't come off the skin. I'm never going to go anywhere, and I will be a Raider fan until the Raiders either cease to exist or I cease to exist. That will never change. But damn it, my frustration is running at an all-time high right now, and I imagine that it is for a lot of you too. Swag Jeff, take it away.
So over the course of the last 6 years, the big knock with Derek was, well, if he had this, he'd be great. If he had that, he'd be great. Last year was kind of the epitome of that. Now he has everything he needs. He's got all his weapons. He's got his best friend. He's got this offensive genius. He's got all these things, and he shit the bed. He had his ups. He had his downs. Now you can say the same thing about Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels, his first year, yes, they did move the goalposts on us. We were AFC championship bound until we went 1-3 to start the season. And we were like, well, the team's growing. We got to find our pieces, find our guys, all this kind of stuff. Now, Josh McDaniels has doubled down. He's got his pieces. He had a full year to build this system, full year to build this team, 2 full drafts. All this. I love that you guys are both cracking jokes while I'm saying this.
It's one of those kind of shows.
It's one of those kind of shows, man. He had all the things going for him, all this stuff he's built, and now we said during this offseason, Josh, you've got your people. You got rid of our 9-year vet, and agree with that if you want to, Raider Nation. I mean, I think it was probably the right call on both sides, both for Derek and for us.
I think so too.
But Josh McDaniels brought in his guy, Jimmy Garoppolo. He's his ride or die. All this offseason we talked about, the pieces that, are we going to bring in more pieces on defense? Are we going to do these things? Josh said, no, I've got my guys. So there's no more excuses, Josh McDaniels. I don't understand. You've got all these pieces and you're this offensive mind and you kick a field goal. Oof. You kick a field goal. That might be the dumbest damn thing that I've ever seen.
How dumb was it?
It's so freaking dumb. I mean, what do you do? Okay,
since the 2-point conversion was adopted in 1994, the Raiders are the only NFL team to attempt a field goal in the last 3 minutes of a quarter when down exactly 8 points with less than 5 yards to go for a first down or a touchdown. If we can even rephrase that, it gets worse. The Raiders are the only NFL team to attempt a field goal in the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter when down exactly 8 points with less than 5 yards to go for a first down touchdown since the 2-point conversion was adopted in 1994. It's literally the same headlines writing itself twice. That's how dopey that freaking call was. And you're an offensive guru? You're a mastermind? We always say, give us a I'll believe you until there's a reason not to.
Well, now
there you go. There's Exhibit A.
There's a reason not to. And, and I think out of all, we all watched that. And, they kick a field goal with 5 minutes left or whatever. We were going out for a field goal. We got the penalty. We got the first down. So I'm like, okay, now we're going to go score. Well, we wasted 2.5 minutes of the clock just to go kick a field goal again. At that point, like, just decline the penalty, take your 3, move on to something different. But instead, we went for 3 again. And I think the thing that pisses me off the most about that whole thing, I mean, we were all pissed off that he kicked the field goal. I mean, what the hell are we doing? During his post game, he goes, well, we needed another possession anyway. So apparently Josh McDaniels doesn't like math, but he likes numbers. We were down 8 points, Josh. That's 1 possession, bruh. What are we doing? We didn't need 2 possessions. We need another possession to win.
Yeah.
But like, what do you...
So he was gonna
right.
Yeah,
so he was gonna trust his defense
And
more than his offense.
and that's the thing.
And he's the
He's the
offensive
guru.
guy, and we clearly have more talent on
And
offense
that's-
than we do defense.
well,
Yeah, the regression, I think, is the thing that really just like blows my mind. And I know at some point last season, same as you, I questioned his offensive genius status because he had to have. I think if you're an offensive genius, you can use what you have and make it work.
Yep.
And I was behind, the Derek Carr thing, because I'll say too, I never thought Jimmy G was better than Derek Carr, but I thought a different move might be good for the organization. Like I thought maybe that would be some sort of spark, but I am so irritated by the lack of fire from anybody, from the coaches. The players
Holy
even
cow,
already
yes.
sound defeated when they're like, when you hear them talking, they almost sound like we're at the end of the season and it's bad. We're 3 games in. And the coach he is so lackluster. Like, I honestly,
I
don't, it is what it is,
You know.
we needed this, we needed that. Like, I honestly I didn't want to say I was backing him or anything, but I was backing him because he's a coach, but I'm like,
Sure.
damn, dude, pull it together.
He's our
Like,
coach, yeah.
if you're this genius, make something happen.
Right.
Every play is so vanilla, and it's like, run, and then Jimmy G with the passing, like,
Yeah, those Jimmy Gimmies,
interception,
man.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Gimmies. Oh, man,
Gimmies.
I'm gonna tell you the one way I know that things are bad. I'm gonna tell you how I know.
Okay.
Because Mo Moten is already, his voice went another octave up when he was
Holy
talking
cow, he
about
was
how
yelling about it.
he was fired up. It's bad,
Really?
guys. It's bad.
Oh, he's-
It's
yeah, he's
bad.
fired up.
Yeah,
He's
he
fired up.
was fired up. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how I know.
because he's supposed to be the
And
level-headed
I
one.
thought that
We're
him
we're
and,
supposed to be
Scott,
the irrational
that's
screamers.
Right.
You know what
They
I
give
mean?
me, yeah.
Absolutely. So last week on the show, I said that Sunday night was a must-win, and I know that some folks, including the guys over at Silver and Black today, much respect to them, they don't like that term unless we're mathematically eliminated from
Sure.
playoffs. No game is a must-win until. But I really think that last week was a must-win game, and I said that on the show, and I mean, all those things that I said would happen is probably they're already starting to happen. We're seeing.
You have to win the winnable games.
You have to win the winnable games.
Thank
and,
you.
And
It's not like Pittsburgh was some freaking stout offense or
wasn't
something.
Exactly.
The
They're
Dolphins
like,
or
oh,
Kansas
exactly.
City.
The narrative is that the defense got better. Yeah, you're playing a shit ass offense.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like wait till we go. You know what I mean? What are we going to do against the Chargers this
What are we going to do
Exactly.
against Miami when they just
Oh,
hung
jeez.
70 on Denver?
Oh,
you know
my
what I mean?
gosh.
So, but I mean, at this point, like, the question really has to be raised, like, how long is Mark Davis going to wait?
Dude.
How long is he going to put up with this shit before something changes? I mean, like, if I'm Mark Davis right now, I'm getting out my phone and I'm scrolling down to the R's and I'm texting Rob Ryan, you up?
Dude.
That little late night booty call to Rob Ryan, because I'm telling you, I think he might be the guy that just has to take over. Like, what are we going to do?
Well, you're going to see something change amongst coordinators or coaches well before you'll see it happen amongst head
Sure,
coaches.
totally.
So I think that, there's a reason Rob Ryan has that senior defensive assistant title. And save me I see some of the folks, online who are like, oh, our defense sucked when he was there. Listen, in 2006, when we had an offense that ranked dead last in every statistical category, the defense back then, I think we were 18th in yards and 3rd in points allowed, or vice versa, whatever the heck it is. The point being, though, is that defense was playing pretty well. And, oh, yeah, by the way, we had Nnamdi Asomugha back there. Shout out Stuart Schweigert, who was back there. Like, we had some good players on that defense. And so if you give him enough talent, he can turn it around. Now, I'm not saying that this defense is so talented that he can turn it, but just like I think ultimately the biggest reason they moved on from Derek was because that was the best thing for both. It was a change of environment. It added a spark. It's what drove our playoff team a couple years ago, is that Gruden was gone and Bisaccia brought in a spark. And he brought out that emotion, and they gave the players something to play for, which was that coach and that season. And so I think that if you take out, listen, I don't like to call for people's jobs. I don't like to see anybody lose their job. But the NFL is the ultimate meritocracy, and this defense sucks. So it's time to move on from PG and put in a guy like Rob Ryan, who's got a pedigree. He's got a history in this league. He's well respected. The players love him. It will give them something to play for, because clearly right now, they don't have anything to play for. They're not playing for the head coach. They're not playing for the coordinators. So if we can elevate somebody who's already at the most senior position in the defense, aside from the coordinator, then I think it's time to make a move.
They don't even have a quarterback to play for because he's new. You know, like at least then they were playing for him too. You know, like I feel like because I won't say they were all together for a very long time, but they had that like camaraderie from all of the adversity that they had come across. And now it's like it's a lot of new. It's a lot of different, and there's no glue. Who's the glue? Like, there is no glue.
Devontae and Max.
Devontae and
got
Max.
guys on the field,
and
yeah.
even they sound like they are frustrated, you know? Like, man. And we're going into week 4.
Absolutely. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so let's go ahead. So speaking of Devontae, let's go ahead and jump in.
Okay, that felt good.
You know what?
That was good.
That was good.
It felt really good. Let's
cleanse
hit a break.
the palate, and when we come back, I'm just
Vegas
going to
Raider Pete said this is so negative.
Oh,
well, you know,
we're venting.
There's not a whole
Did you
lot of
see the
positive,
game?
but we had to get it out.
Get it out.
Had to get it out.
Now
So-
it's done. Now
Thanks
it's done.
for letting us do that, Raider
Okay,
Nation.
now, hey, let's get to respect.
Oh, yeah.
We're still in respect here at the top of the show. 43 minutes in.
Patrick Claybon,
At least we're talking about the Raiders.
That's
Hey, folks, I
true.
know
We
3
did
things
that
you
earlier.
might like. Do you like football? Do you like the Las Vegas Raiders? Do you like listening to things? I'll add a fourth. Do you like swag? Well, here we got Swag Jeff, Murf, Uncle Mosh. This is Raiders Fan Radio.
All right, Michelle, this is cool. So we've got some respect to throw around. First off, I want to give respect to Devontae Adams, not only for being the greatest receiver in the game, and we're going to get to Devontae's comments post-game, which, you know, listen, for Pete or anybody else thinks like, you know, this is real negative, like, look, and you know us, we're positive, and you heard us at the top of the show joking about freaking shaving balls for crying out loud. Like you know, like this is definitely still going to remain a lighter journey into the dark side. But at the same time, we got to address the reality of things too. And if we don't freaking like vent about it and get rid of it, like then it's just going to dwell in us. And so like, you know, like I didn't come into this show thinking like this is just going to be us be sitting around bitching, Michelle.
Right.
But it's like I feel like this is the time when we kind of collectively get it off our chest and then we move forward. And I'll say this too. It's why we do this show on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because it gives us a few days after the game's over to where we can kind of, you know what I mean? Like get a little bit of a level set going on. And we got a few days going into the next game. So that's why this show is on Wednesday night. So it's not like we just always sit around and give you these big emotional takes, but considering where we're at in the current conditions, I feel like it's,
I mean,
cathartic,
we're
right?
really positive majority of the time, but there are times when it's kind of shitty, like, and you have to get it. I mean, you don't have to get it out, but we have the opportunity to get it out.
There you go.
We're gonna get it out, you know. I mean, you can't be positive all the time when you have been this bad for this long with so many different regimes and so many different, like, what is going on? Because and like you said, the ink, I got ink. It's not coming off. I'm not going anywhere, but I can sure be pissed when it's bad. Like listen, I have San Francisco fans and I got Dallas fans and I got Titans fans and they're all texting me and I'm like, it's so bad. Like, how do you
Titans
you
fans
don't-
shouldn't be texting
No, well,
you.
they
They're
sure shouldn't.
they're even
but
worse.
How do you not feel shitty kicking us like that? I mean, because there was nothing good.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. All right, so let's dive into the positive side of being a Raider fan. And the good news is that we do have some players we can root for, right? And somebody Hooligan Nation, shout out with a $10 donation there in the super chat, says, I'm positive that game sucked.
Same.
Truth.
Yeah,
Much respect there, Hooligan. Appreciate that donation, and 100% of that money, as you know, will go to our nonprofit, the One Nation Foundation, that gives exclusively to Raiders-related charities. All right, so Devontae is one of the guys that we can root for. I hope we didn't break him.
My gosh.
I hope that, any of the early on talk about like Devontae doesn't want to be here, Devontae's going to get traded. Listen, he's got a hell of a salary cap number, so I don't think he's going to go anywhere. But anyways, I'll save that commentary when we get to the game time comments. But in the meantime, as a guy, as a human, as a man, I got a ton of respect for Devontae, aside from his on-play ability or on the field ability. And this is really cool. So I don't even know what the name of the show is. This could be Raiders and Pop Culture, because Devontae Adams is on this like remodel show where you like remodel a house, and he remodels his grandmother's house. And so this is really sweet. So I've got the audio for you. So where Grandma Adams or whatever, I don't know what her name is, but shout her out. And I'm sorry, but but Grandma comes in and gets to see her new place.
All right.
Welcome home. Oh!
Yeah. You remember some of these pictures over here?
Oh, that's my mom. There's both of my mom.
We had to put the pictures back just so you knew this is your house. I know it looks a lot different.
Oh, my mom's home. Oh, my gosh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I knew some of those were going to get to you.
It's both of my moms. It's all good. What Devontae wanted to make sure is that there were, because he said there's a lot of memories in this house for all of you all, Yes. Devontae told me that his grandmother does not cry. She could not hold it in, and it was really, really special to see. That is simply gorgeous.
Too many changes in here to not keep some memories and keep some of the things that have been here for forever. So
beautiful.
It's timeless.
All right, there it is. There's Devontae gifting Grandma a new place there, and shout out just when Wendy in the chat says her name is Betty, and they call her Baby, and so very, very cool stuff there. And so man, it's like well, whatever. I'll save that again. We're going to talk about Devontae here in a minute. So let's go into the next bit of respect I have, and so this was, man, I tell you. I won't get into another rant about the game, but much respect to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and much respect to, of course, the great Fred Biletnikoff, who we're going to hear comments from, and much respect to the late great Kenny Stabler. And I want to give respect because they presented the Hall of Fame ring to the Stabler family pregame there before that game against the Steelers. Kenny was very famous for, those games against the Steelers, that rivalry. We talked about it a couple weeks ago, or was it last week even, about how great that rivalry was, and no one exemplified the on-field greatness better than Kenny Stabler in those matchups. And so for those of you that don't know, the Hall of Fame didn't used to present rings posthumously to the family. They would only present the rings to the players that were alive. And of course, and they do it before, the pre-games. And so for the Hall of Fame to do this, to recognize the value and the necessity to present the Stabler family their ring, and much respect to Kendra Stabler, who we've gotten to know a little bit through the Biletnikoffs. Much respect to her, and the grand snakes, as Kenny used to call them, his grandchildren, for all of them being there and accepting that ring and going through that ceremony for before the game, was a really incredible moment. I wish more of it was televised for us to see that. I wish we could have got to see more of it, but at least everybody did the right thing. And as much as I have rallied against the Hall of Fame for inducting Raiders posthumously, like Kenny and like Cliff Branch and whatnot, at least they're making it right with the families, with the loved ones that remain. And so I got to give respect for that. And just, too bad the Raiders didn't do that legacy some justice by bringing home a W against the Steelers. But anyway, so let's, I don't want to totally go down a trip of memory lane, but being that we want to get out of the negative space of commenting on the current state of the Raiders and want to get this thing a little bit positive, I got a couple sound bites for you first and foremost, let's hear from speaking of greatness and those have passed, John Madden talking about Kenny Stabler. And this is at John Madden's, this is John Madden at halftime in the Oakland Coliseum when Kenny was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and his speech when they presented at the halftime game there back in Oakland.
And I'm sitting here in this field and just thinking, if you were here in 1976, you would never have seen the Raiders lose a game. The Raiders won every game on this field that year. Ken Stabler, as a quarterback, was undefeated on this field that year. Not only did that, but he went to the playoffs and won there, then went to the Super Bowl and won there. So at the end of that, everyone was saying he's the greatest, including me because he was, including his teammates, because they felt it, they knew that he was. And they started calling him, he's going to be a first vote Hall of Famer. 40 years later, he gets and it's not funny, but the Hall of Fame does get it right. They just don't get it on time all the time.
All right, there he is. There's Coach Madden. And so, yeah, it's a little bit tough to hear.
Yeah.
I know, Coach Madden was getting up there a little bit during that time, and it's real loud, and so I apologize if the audio is a little muddled there. But great stuff there. And, like Madden said, if I ever had to trust one person to make a pass, and this is a guy that loved Brett Favre, he loved Troy Aikman, he loved a lot of different players that played quarterback around the league. He said the guy I would pick would be Kenny Stabler. Let's check in with Freddie Bolitnikoff. Hear his comments about Kenny going into this. This was just released just a few days ago. This is incredible stuff there from the great Fred Bolitnikoff, talking about not only his teammate, but his friend, Ken Stabler.
Kenny was our leader. His preparation for the game was unbelievable. He called the plays and did what he wanted to do, and it was terrific.
Stabler to pass, steps away from the rush. He's going to run up the left side. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Touchdown, Oakland Raiders! Kenny Stabler goes all the way.
Kenny was just a very confident guy, very confident quarterback, very intelligent. You could see he was always thinking about the situation on the field and would really, really make an effort not to get guys in a situation that they couldn't be successful in.
Looking. He runs. He's at the 15. He throws. It is a touchdown, Raiders.
The Super Bowl was a culmination of exactly what we always thought about each other. Anybody could have been an MVP. I always wished it would have been Kenny because he had command of the game.
Stabler back to pass. A quick throw into the end zone. Casper, touchdown, Raiders.
We're the best team in the world. Simple as that.
We made our friendship ahead of everything else, even football. We were good, close friends. I've always thought the world of Kenny.
Nobody enjoyed a good Donnybrook more than sixth-year linebacker Phil Villapiano.
This is Phil Villapiano, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
Man, I've got certain information, all right? Certain things have come to light, and, given the nature of all this new shit, this could be a lot more complex. I mean, it might not be just such a simple,
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm blathering about. I've got information, man. New shit has come to light.
All right, so new shit has come to light. So I've got a very interesting story here before we get to Devontae's comments, and we're not going to talk about the game anymore, clearly, but I do want to talk a little bit about, I want to reflect
Except
on...
when we do talk about the game.
Yeah, well, that's true. But I do want to reflect a little bit on Devontae's comments. But before we do that, okay, so something happened this week. It's actually something happened within the past couple of days. And so going into this segment, I really didn't want to talk about it, but we've never dodged tough things to talk about before, whether it's around kneeling around the national anthem and all the Kaepernick stuff and all that. Like we've dug in on some difficult topics before. And so I don't want us to be shy to do it on this one either. But I got to tell you, I'm real reserved around a lot of the potential commentary around this because a lot of people have a lot of very passionate and emotional opinions about it. And I think there's a way to respect them all without condemning any of it. But it is a very interesting subject, and being that it revolves entirely around fandom, I think that we're kind of compelled, being that this show is called Raiders Fan Radio, that we talk about it. So I saw a comment earlier in the chat room. Somebody said, "What would it take for you to not be a fan anymore?" Okay, speaking specifically about the Raiders, and I said the only thing, and I didn't say this now, but I've always said this. The only way I cease to be a Raiders fan is when the Raiders cease to be the Raiders. If they rebrand them, the Las Vegas Renegades, and put a gambler on the helmet and change the colors to green and orange, well, then I'm not a fan anymore. Then I'll still be a Raider fan. It's just that the Raiders won't exist anymore, right? Same thing when the A's, when they move to Vegas, if they leave the athletics and the branding in Oakland and become something else, well, then I'm not rooting for that team anymore. Like, I'm a fan of the shield. I'm a fan of the name on the front, whether that's Athletics, Warriors, A's, Predators, whatever it is. Those are the teams that I root for. So when we look at fandom, right? Like, again, I don't want to condemn anyone's opinion, but I do want to discuss this story that came out this week. And this man, I'll just read you the headline: a 40-year-old man's goodbye letter to the only NFL team he's ever loved. So much more could have been said. Games at the LA Coliseum to following them from the Philippines is where he came from. Now, I'm not going to read you his whole thing because it's all over the internet.
Real quick, he's 40 or he was a 40-year fan?
Let's see. Let's see. He says a 40-year-old man's goodbye letter. So he was a fan from whenever the Raiders became the Raiders. Okay. All right. So he pens this letter, and it says basically like, I can't do this anymore. My mental health is too tied up to the Raiders, and they cause me too much stress, and I've got to tap out, okay? And I put out a tweet, and I just said, well, don't come back, like, ever, right? And, and so the majority of the response that I got from and I did the well-bye thing, the guy Curly from frickin', Tombstone or whatever. Right. And so the majority of the response was kind of in alignment, which my thought, which a lot of us is that win, lose, or tie, Raiders till I die. This thing is,
the slogan
for life, right? Like it's the way that we do this thing. So I align with what this guy's feelings were. Now, again, I don't want to say that anybody should or shouldn't anything. We only evaluate your fandom in which the passion that you bring to the Raiders, but like, I can't connect with that. I have a real hard time connecting with that. And again, I don't want to tiptoe into anything, but at the same time, like, I want to really keep it around, like, this isn't about like making someone into a whatever, the bad guy. But I do also want to say that, like, I think that a lot of us in Raider Nation, like, we don't align with that thinking because we are so committed to this thing forever that it is a lifestyle. It's beyond the performance on and off the field. And as much as we can get, disrupted emotionally by it, I can also compartmentalize it. And if this young man, if he's having mental health issues, then whatever, do what's best for you. Like, that's not, it's not a condemnation again.
Right.
But in terms of, like, I'm able to compartmentalize it. Like, the Raiders are the Raiders, but my faith in my family are something completely different. And those two things shall not be affected by the Raiders' play on the field, nor their dysfunction in the locker room. And also, that said too, and just something else that I'd like to say is that, like, I feel like we're getting to a point, and I really hate this, and I don't want to make, and I made comments a couple of weeks ago about, like, I don't want to make it about old fan versus young fan or any of that kind of stuff. But I have a reference point from the Raiders were the greatest. When you listen to comments from Freddie Bulletnikoff and John Madden and all the greatness of the Raiders.
Sure.
I have a reference point for that. I understand that younger fans don't have a reference point for that. But I will say this, man, the foundation of the Raiders is in being the villain, not the victim. Yeah. That is what we are. It's not about, that, like, oh, it's, feel sorry for it. Like, it's a toughness that's tied within the Raiders. That doesn't mean there's not a kindness also. You can be a badass and you can be kind too. You can be a badass and you can uplift those in your community at the same time. And that's what was so beautiful, what is so beautiful about the Raiders. Now, I know the on-field performance doesn't reflect that like it used to, because we used to have W's, we used to have championships, we used to have all those things. But the bottom line is that it's rooted in grit. It's rooted in like, we're going to kick your freaking ass. Well, like, ooh, you know, oh, I'm hurt or I feel bad. Like, that's not Raidery, Michelle, right? Like, help me out here.
So I think like I'm 47 and I've never I became a fan when they moved to LA. That's when I became a fan. So, and never once, and it has been shitty many times since then, but I've never once thought I need to pen an open letter for the whole world to see and denounce my Raider fandom and move along. Like, so I feel like maybe if you have, I won't say that the Raiders are my personality, because they're not, because I have a lot of things. I love Halloween. I love Christmas. I love my kids, my family. I love a lot of things. I freaking love the Raiders. I will never, ever not be a Raiders fan unless the shield changes. That's when I will no longer be a Raiders fan. So I don't understand tying your personality so deep into something that you have no control over. Like, if I don't have control over it, I'm not going to connect myself so hard that I feel the need to tell the internet that I'm done. Like, I feel like that's just, I don't want to say like it's just for attention, because I feel like maybe at some point when it was so bad, I thought, F this team, I'm out of here. And then 2 days later, I'm like, oh my God, I love the Raiders so much, you know?
Right.
So I don't know if he was just really mad or I don't know what. And now he's just like, next weekend, he's going to be like, let's go Raiders. I don't know. But like, I just feel like if you are tied that closely to something, maybe you do need to take some steps
maybe there's
back
something
and
else
find
going
some
on.
other things.
Like,
maybe there's something else that is going on.
Well, and Jeff, I want to set you up with this.
Okay, go for it.
What? Again, as I mentioned, a majority of the comments that we got back kind of aligned with what Michelle and I just said. But there were a few out there that were like, you don't get to be the voice of all fans. You don't get to be the gatekeeper for this. You don't get, and listen, that's not what we're doing. We're not coming on here or even on Twitter trying to tell you that our opinion is absolute. The only thing that deals in absolute are Sith. Yeah. But what I would like to say, Swag Jeff, is that when you put out your opinion on the internet for the world to see, available for comment, there was somebody on there that said, how would you like it if people commented on your opinion? I'm like,
it's Twitter.
They do every time.
Bruh, I do 3 shows a week. Yeah, I hear a contrary opinion all day long. Like, it's crazy to me, Jeff. Anyways, I'll save that rant. But like,
yeah, well, and I mean, when you put anything on the internet, you know, you're
like, we're on the internet right now.
You know, it's on. Yeah,
roast
I mean,
our asses.
Yeah, roast everybody. You know, I mean, because I mean, if you're crazy enough to put something on the internet, then you got to be ready for the backlash. You know, but I'm glad that you said what you said. That I love the Raiders. You know, we obviously we all love the Raiders, and we'll love them forever. But it's more than the football team. It's more than the play on the field. It's more than all those things. It's about the people in the chat. Mm-hmm. It's about Fabricator Gil with a $20 donation.
Thank you,
Gil. Raiders
right
till
there.
I die. My kids are also womb to the tomb.
That's right.
Pineapple with a $20 donation says being a Raider is a lifestyle.
And
you know what? And I couldn't agree more with that. You know, I'll preface all this to say this guy puts out this thing, which, okay, you do that. I wouldn't have done that.
No.
You know, if you wanted to step away from the team, just
do
away.
it.
Just step away. Because when you put it out there, and awesome that you put it out there, by screenshotting your notes on Apple, like, I mean, maybe be a little more formal. Have a press conference if you want to. Whatever you need to do.
Press conference.
Whatever you need to do.
Now we're talking.
I wouldn't do that. I mean, so do your thing. But, I'm not, my personality and who I am as a man and as a person is not the Raiders. I love the Raiders. I love my Lord and Savior. I love my wife. I love my kids. I love you guys. And I love the Raiders. It's top 5 on my list.
Yep.
It doesn't define me. And if it defines you, get out.
Get out.
Get out. You have to. You have to. If the success of your favorite football team makes or breaks you, you got a freaking problem. Get another hobby. Get into religion. Get to know Jesus. Get married. Get a girlfriend. Knock a girl up. Do something.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Do something else with your life.
Something that doesn't include wins
do
and losses.
something else with your life. But all that being said, and respect to this guy. I'm not telling you how to fan. I'm not telling you how to fan.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
I'm not telling you how to fan.
I don't believe you, dude.
But this guy put out a thing. Just hit whatever button because I'm on a rant. You hit a button.
That ain't true.
That ain't true.
That's not true.
Say what you will. You know, this guy puts out this thing.
Or says he's fat.
He didn't do that, but he did a lot of other stuff.
It's ego.
He said, I'm a 40-year fan. Yeah. I became a fan in 1983. The Raiders were great then.
They sure were.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
And you've been a fan for how long? And all the shit shows that you've seen over the course of the last 40 years.
Dude, this is what did it.
This is what did it for you? Josh McDaniels, a 1-2 start. You don't remember when we were 2-14 the first year John Gruden came back? Woo. You don't remember those mid-2000 and early 2010 years? You don't remember all the crazy shit that happened? You don't remember Lane Kiffin getting fired by Al Davis in front of a projector? You don't remember any of this shit? This is what did it for you.
Yeah.
The 2023 1-2 start, and it's a rocky start. It's a bad start, but you got some things to root for.
It's a bad one.
It's a bad one, but you got Max Crosby, you got Devontae Adams, you got some things that you can maybe be a little bit optimistic about, and this is where you just tapped out. You said, I'm done. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not questioning
It just
anybody.
felt like an attention scene.
I'm not questioning anybody's fandom, and I do think you're right. I think
Yeah.
we're at an age right now where somebody just wanted
wants
an
to be
attention
heard.
grab.
So I
want to
say
be heard.
find the Raiders Booster Club in your area and connect with Raider Nation. And then y'all can do this together.
That's what it's all about, right? You know,
yeah, because it is if you want to check out.
I mean, we're 1-2. We just had 2 shit-ass performances. And
games,
really, you could argue that we had 3 shit-ass performances because
true.
that 17-16 victory over the Broncos
Wasn't that good.
ain't looking too good.
Not that
Ain't
good.
looking too
You're not
good.
wrong.
So, you know, but like
Exactly.
Raider Nation is what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
You know, so connect with a friend.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's like some of the greatest fan bases in the world. When
And
you
hey,
see
real quick,
okay, go.
Road Code said that Jesus isn't a hobby, and I don't think that's what you were saying.
I was
So
not
just wanna
saying
make sure.
Jesus is a
That is-
hobby. I was
think
saying
you were
get
just
a
saying
hobby
find
or
something
get to know like
that-
that's not.
get
Yeah,
something
that was not.
higher
Yeah,
than
that was
you.
not. No,
Yeah, I just want to
Jesus
make
is-
sure. I
is-
know you weren't saying that.
No, the greatest in the world.
Yeah.
But you know, and to each your own. But
yes,
you know,
yeah.
but like you know, like Raider Nation is what it's all about. Like I mean,
Yeah.
if I'm out on the street or whatever, and I see someone rocking a shield, I'm like Raiders.
Every
You know what I
time.
mean? Like that's more special than.
Yeah.
Watching the games on Sunday. I
Yes.
mean, frankly, I mean, I mean, like what we always say, Raider Nation, it's La Familia.
That's
and
right.
that ain't a freaking joke, man.
Absolutely.
Like, this is legit. This is for life. So if you tapping out, then, you know, I hope you get well. And, you know, but, you know, I don't know.
All right.
The end.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Move on. All right, here we go. Let's hear from Uncle Mosh.
Las Vegas, a city without a pro football team, in a world gone mad. What can we do about it? Acquire the most desired franchise in sports history? Sin City, lost wages, home of the Elvis weddings, and 24-hour debauchery. But finally, a match made in heaven. The Oakland Raiders have landed in the desert with the Death Star as their home. And to celebrate beyond your imagination has come 3 individuals hosting the most irreverent show while paying homage to the storied history of this franchise. Raiders Fan Radio with Murf, Swaggy J, and Michelle, taking a lighter side journey into the dark side.
So, to take a lighter side journey into the dark side, we're going to listen to Davante Adams' comments, which is, listen, man, I'm telling you, or I'm trying. I will say this. I am doing my best to keep this thing light, Raider Nation, but I'm telling you, man, the timeline, the conversations, like, it was in shambles this week. I want to keep the vibes high and have a good time, but man, like, I mean, if we're going to be relevant to the current state of the Raiders, we got to go through some of this stuff, man, because this is what's going on. You know, hey, listen, you want me to do a show for 2 hours about Kenny Stabler? I'm your guy. You know what I mean? But if we're going to talk about the current state of the Raiders, then, like, we got to get into some of this stuff. And so, all right, let's check in with about this game. Let's check in with Davante Adams, because here's what the thing, if anything's going to get Josh McDaniels gone, it's going to be losing the locker room.
Yeah.
And so I'll give props to, I believe this was Vinny Bonsignor that asked the question, how are you going to keep it together as a team, as players in the locker room, and keep this thing from splintering?
Davante, what do you guys have to do to make sure that you find the answers and not splinter here? Because this can be a trying situation.
We got to be real with ourselves, man. When we get these these opportunities to come after, watch tape together and do these constructive things, we got to get something out of it. And that's not just talking and doing all of that, but it's about putting it to action, figuring out what's wrong and doing something about it so that when we go out there the next time, it looks different. It's not supposed to just be a week of just talking about shit. We got to go out there and do it. And, that's the theme of this year, is doing it, not just talking about it and figuring out what we need to do. We did all that last year. This year we got to be about it.
I love that. It's time to stop talking about it. We got to be about it. And so, Michelle, I'm gonna throw it to you first. Okay. Oh gosh, I want to go down the same negative path again. I'll just let's look at what the Raiders can do. Okay. Let's keep it on that front. So, in order for Josh McDaniels to not lose the locker room, winning cures everything, right? Have we gotten to a point already where it's time for him to start to turn loose of his plan, of his schemes, of his whatever, and allow for more flexibility in the offense and or any position on the field? Because when we look at like a Hunter Renfrow, who is completely regressed, I mean, all the way down into nothing. You got to take one of the guys who was the best slot receivers in football and has regressed down into nothing. Like what else? Okay, I'll phrase the question this way. What else besides kind of turning loose a little bit of it could he do as a head coach to prevent the players? Because remember, we're talking in the context of keeping the locker room together and for them to still feel and have some domain over what's going on, because right now it's starting to drift a little bit.
Yeah.
Again.
So in my layman's brain, because I'm not worried about people's salaries and people's this and that and the other.
Sure.
I feel like it has to be something substantial, because Jimmy doing the cha-cha every time he gets the ball, even if there's no pressure, even if that's your guy, if he continues to do that and throw in the, interception stuff, let's see what Aiden O'Connell can do. Let's see what he is capable of. If we're at a point where I think he needs to make something major, even if it's like going to Patrick Graham and being like, listen, dude, you got to do something different. And I'm not saying he's the problem, because I don't think he is. I really feel like McDaniels, his rigidity is going to be the death of him, because it's like his way. I think that's what happened with Derek. Like, Derek's trying to make plays at the line and he's seeing things and he's wanting to do things different. And Josh McDaniels, apparently, I mean, I don't know, I just know what we're told, is that he was like, do what I tell you to do, period. And I think his rigidity is going to be what absolutely obliterates him as a head coach. Do something big.
All right, so Swag Jeff, we know Jimmy is in, and great comments there, Michelle.
Yeah.
We know that Jimmy is now in concussion protocol and likely won't play.
Yeah.
If O'Connell doesn't start, do we riot?
Throw it. Yeah.
Riot.
Yeah. We and Michelle and I talked about this. It was so funny. Sidetrack.
Were you guys having a quiet meeting without me knowing about it?
We were having a quiet meeting.
Why? And tell them why.
Because you always say save it for the
Save
show.
it for the show.
But we
Save it
can't
for the
always
show.
So Raider
you guys
Nation.
having
So
sidebars?
Murph is in the
I feel
back.
so betrayed.
Shut up. So Murph is.
You shut up, penis.
Murph is in the bathroom. Speaking of.
Yeah, you
How do you know? Maybe it was an ass.
Shut up, Manscaped.
He's checking out his work.
Yeah. He's over in there whacking his weeds in there. Hey, don't tell us about your life.
Yeah.
So Michelle and I were, and Michelle goes,
Whispering.
we gotta be quiet. We don't want Murph here. And I said, I got you. And like every time he heard like my chair squeak, Michelle would be like,
Oh
is
my
he
God,
coming?
Murph.
He's coming.
No, I actually
no
said
bullshit.
though.
No bullshit.
Said,
my favorite
no,
thing you've ever
I actually said we can't talk about this because Murph's gonna hear
get
us.
pissed.
And he said, I got
hey,
your
we gotta
back.
keep it down. Dad's gonna walk in and get mad. But no. So anyway, but we did talk about that. So
Yes,
so
we
Jimmy
did.
G is still in concussion
I've
protocol.
never been more disappointed in you.
You
It's
should
the
be proud.
disappointment that hurts.
Yeah, you should be proud. But
No,
so
listen. If that's what you guys want to do, and I'm not around, it's
you're not
fine.
mad. You're just disappointed.
No, it's fine if
It's
that's
fine.
what you
I
choose
learned
to
it by
do.
watching you. Do you remember that? Drug commercial?
Oh, that's right. So Jimmy G's in concussion protocol. And I feel like the cutoff is like pretty soon. Like if he's still in concussion protocol by like tomorrow, he can't play.
He ain't
or whatever.
playing, He ain't
playing.
I don't think he's gonna play.
I don't think there's been a player yet this year that's freaking played that's
Exactly.
went into concussion protocol. Let me look at Jacoby Myers.
Well, and,
you know what I
and
mean?
we said that too in our secret meeting.
Damn it, you guys! Knock that shit off.
Well, I'm just saying.
You plotting on me?
It's the Murph's fan cave takeover, Yeah, but really,
Marcos Perez is Murph rigid about the pod?
No kidding.
Damn right I am. We got
Holy
certain
cow.
rules
Well,
around here.
it's called Murph's fan cave for a reason.
Goddamn right.
Yeah, not Raider Nation fan cave or whatever.
No, hell no, it ain't swag cave. It's
No,
but for real though, because we want to have the freshest takes on the show.
Yeah.
And so when you guys start talking about it
fresh
before
as
the
hell.
show, yeah.
It's still fresh.
Ain't that
It's
fresh?
fresh to you and everyone else.
But it's fresh to you
because we were secretly talking about it.
You guys have already done this shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. All right.
But all that being said, Jimmy G's in concussion protocol. More than likely, probably won't play. But I'm telling you, if we see, you think Raider Nation?
You're grounded, by the way.
Shut up and let me get my point across. Jimmy G is in
What's his
concussion
name?
protocol. Suck it, bro.
Today, Junior.
Jimmy G is in concussion protocol.
Murph Caesar. I'm sorry.
Raider Loco, that's amazing.
We're on the same team. I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm sorry.
If we see,
Go on, Jeff.
If we see freaking Brian Hoyer,
Shit.
What?
Sorry, I just read. I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut up.
you're reading chat.
I'm putting myself on mute.
Oh, okay. Put yourself on mute. If we see Brian Hoyer suit up as QB1 against the freaking Dolts, you think Raider Nation's mad now?
Oh,
Raider Nation gonna be all kinds of tore up, Michelle.
I'm writing a letter at that point.
If we don't see the kid, if freaking Jimmy G can't go, you're gonna see you're gonna see a lot more people writing letters of resignation from Raider Nation.
No.
Nobody wants to see Hoyer.
Nobody wants to see Hoyer.
We've seen enough of Hoyer.
We've seen him over 18 years. You saw the picture that the Raiders
Put Pat
posted of him.
Sajak in.
I'm telling you, man. If we don't see the kid, come on.
Like,
what are we doing?
Like, for real,
What
though.
are
Like,
we
what
doing?
are we doing? Because, like, I've gotten to the point where I really feel like this, like, we've gone through the discussion road before around the benefit of hitting on a young quarterback and the benefits of, being able to take advantage of the rookie salary cap when it comes to quarterback. I know the chat's going crazy in here. And
Ron is using my favorite emoji of all time.
What is
the picture of me? It says my F face. It says F this place. I'm gonna move out and create my own fan cave.
No. Kill Jay just said, "You're not my dad." Swag said, "You're not my dad."
Oh my gosh, Foxy Scorpio Murphs will give you something to cry about. That's right.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, hey, look. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Here's
We
all
did go off the rails.
That's okay.
No, I love it.
Hey,
I love
Foxy
it.
Scorpio, I'll give you something to cry about. 1 and 2. There you go.
That's why we're laughing.
That's
to
why
keep
we're laughing.
from crying.
That's exactly right. That's exactly.
So what
right.
else did Devontae Adams
What
say?
was no, but I was getting ready to make a point. What was
Love
it?
him.
Make a point.
Oh yeah.
Oh shoot! I was on a roll there too. Damn it! What was it?
Oh, nothing like getting interrupted when you're on a roll, Murf.
Wow, is there something wrong with your camera and your sound there, Jeff? I don't know what's going on.
Wow. Go figure. It's Murf's fan cave.
All right, let's listen to more Devontae.
Easy, hot dog.
Hey.
What do you say to your teammates after a game like that?
I mean, I haven't said anything. Sometimes you need some time to process and figure out what exactly to say. So, we heard from Coach and we had a few conversations individually, but it's tough because
Kill Jada
this
says
is a
RFR
really good
Civil
team.
War.
We have a lot of potential. I would say that. You're not a good
We're
team
the
until
union.
you prove it. But this team has some potential. We got the players. We just got to figure out how to play together on both sides of the ball and stop putting ourselves in such tough to overcome positions. And we had way too many of those today, and whether it's penalties or sacks or we didn't make the play outside, whatever it was, got to take care of the ball. And it's just that's not how we look at all these analytics and all these things. Teams that have won with the the turnover battle and all these things, and they don't mean until you go out there and you play ball. And we're having a tough time consistently doing that right now. And I don't want to act like it's all crazy. It's week 3, but I don't got time to wait around. And it's not a personal thing. I mean, it is a personal thing, but it ain't just about me. But I mean, it's not my mentality to sit here and try to take all season to figure it out. You use these early games like this to establish our identity, and we're not doing things the right way to establish a winning culture early in the season. So we got to do something to turn that around.
All right. So I don't think he was speaking specifically towards leadership, towards coaching and the front office there. But when he talks about if we're not doing the things that are building a winning culture, I don't have time for this. Like those are strong words. It scares me too. And so here's what I remembered what I was going to say, and it kind of dovetails into these comments. So here's kind of the gist of it. I think the NFL's become a league where, aside from taking advantage of the rookie wage scale that's gone on, you can't win effectively enough throughout the course of now a very long regular season to get your team into positions to play meaningful games in December and January when we come late in the season and then into the playoffs. While I think that there's still a high value and a necessity around having a good defense and a running game, those things are what closes out games for you at the latter parts of the year and in the postseason. But prior to that, you have to have a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
You have to have somebody that is really effective and really good at their job to propel you for those first, 2/3, 3/4 of the season to get you into those positions. And then, when you look at the way that, the game is played now, you don't get quarterbacks, unless you're Patrick Mahomes, and he's a unicorn, so save me that conversation. Yeah. You don't get players taken over in the postseason as much when it comes to quarterbacks. I'm not saying they don't have good performances and all those kinds of things, but it's no one's lighting it up. You look at you think about the 2007 Patriots. Tom Brady was lighting it up to Randy Moss all year long, but as soon as you start putting him on his ass, that's it, ball game, because you don't have a running game and you don't have a great defense, and those are the things that win. So my point is this: to go back to your comment, by not starting Aiden O'Connell and finding out right now whether
what do we got?
I think that it's a mistake by head coaches and GMs to not do two things in the current state of the NFL. One is build your defense and then swing on getting and landing your franchise quarterback until you do. I think that this idea of, I can get my guy that plays my system and we can plug him in. Bullshit. They don't work anymore. Look at what the Jets did. They built a badass defense and swung for the fences on their quarterback. Now, it didn't work out, obviously, because he got hurt, right? Well, look at what Philly did. They built the defense, and even though they had Carson Wentz, who was on an MVP track before he got hurt, what'd they do? They
drafted Jalen Hurts.
Dang Hurts, and look what happened. Now look at one of the best teams in the NFL. What are the Bengals? Hold on.
Okay.
What the Bengals have done? built a badass defense, and even though that they weren't winning, it allowed them to go draft Joe Burrow. You get a badass quarterback, and now all of a sudden you've got a great defense. I'm telling you, like, I feel like if I'm a GM, if I'm Dave Ziegler, like, I'm insisting that Aiden O'Connell plays, because if he's not the guy, well, then we're gonna swing. We're gonna
We
move
need to
on.
know quick.
We got to find out quick, because you look at, like, what's Bryce Young doing in Carolina? Not so great. And although he's an Ohio State quarterback, CJ Stroud is freaking balling.
He's looking pretty good.
Yeah, looking pretty good. And oh yeah, by the way, so is Will Armstrong, their defensive stud that they drafted. Like, all of a sudden,
Will
like,
Anderson?
What did I say?
Will Armstrong.
That's what I meant.
That's his brother.
Same.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? But, like, so it's starting to change their narrative. And oh yeah, they've got a young, innovative head coach.
There you go.
Instead of the retread, now they've got a young, innovative head coach, plus a stud on defense, plus now a quarterback. Like,
right.
The Texans are going to dominate the freaking South, the AFC South.
Quickly.
There.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quickly.
Well, and speaking of the AFC
quickly.
South, look what the Titans are doing. You know, they've got a guy that they're paying a lot of money in, Ryan Tannehill, a very similar situation to what the Raiders are in, you know, because they're ass as well. You know what I mean? So, like, but they've got a guy that they're paying a lot of money to, but then what they do? Last year they drafted a quarterback. This year they drafted a quarterback, and they're seeing what's going to stick. It's only a matter of time before Ryan Tannehill gets benched and they put in either Malik Willis or Will Levis.
And the only reason he's there is because he's so damn high paid. Otherwise, Tannehill's long gone by
The only
now.
reason. So, you know, yes, I understand that it's a business and it's about money. And long term, we're not going to see anybody but number 10 under center. You know, and I hope he thrives and does well. But, like, you know, but if Jimmy G is injured and hurt, any opportunity you can get to see the kid, see the guy, what's our future going to be? Do we have a guy or do we not have a guy? You know what I mean? Aiden O'Connell balled out in the preseason. He was fantastic. Loved every second of it. We were there and watched the home opener in San Francisco.
Sure did.
We watched him light them some bitches up. It was fantastic. But let's get him in real game situation.
Right.
Let's get it 1v1s. Let's see what we actually have, you know, and then for a game, and then put Jimmy back in when he's not hurt anymore.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. But, like, to circle it back around, nobody in Raider Nation wants to see Brian Hoyer.
No.
You know,
about deflating a fan base,
I mean,
man.
I'm telling you. So if freaking Josh McDaniels puts in Brian Hoyer over Aiden O'Connell, if Jimmy can't go, there's a problem.
I think as quickly as these guys' futures are decided, you can't wait. You have to, and I know a lot of people are like, well, you know, Jimmy G's paid a lot and blah, 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 and I get that. But at the end of the day, I know the money is a big deal, and those guys are in there calculating all that shit, but wins are what you want. And Brian Hoyer, he's not going to give us wins. But we don't know if Aiden O'Connell can give us wins. So let's see. And you have to do it quickly. Throw him. I don't want to say, I'm not trying to say like throw him into the fire and get him, you know, his ass beat up. But like other teams do this shit quickly.
Yes.
Why
thank you.
can't we do it? I'm sorry. No, I just got like irritated.
Do it. Go for it.
The Texans, like, you would think they were going to be shitty for the next 10 years. They got rid of Deshaun Watson. Like, I mean, why are y'all? I was about giving people time. I was. But now I'm like, fuck. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, you did.
I'm like, fix it now. Like, shit. It just doesn't make sense. Other teams do it all the time. Like, you're talking about the Jets. Like, they're doing it quickly. Why? What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
Hoyer's not it. We know that. I think we know that.
Absolutely. I'm with you. I think that we've got to settle into this idea that teams got to swing for the fence on a franchise quarterback. And if you don't, you're doing it wrong.
That's
like
it.
It's not like, you know, and even if say we had, okay, I'll give you one scenario where I could maybe see it. We win 13 games last year, you know, AFC championship team, whatever, and Derek decides to retire. All right. He hangs him up. And you've got to like, oh shit. Now we've got this really good football team. We don't have a leader. Let's go ahead and get somebody that is plug and play because he's already surrounded by all these phenomenal pieces, and let's see if we can make a run, right? That kind of a scenario, I could get it. Outside of that, give me the Sean McVay formula. Build your damn defense. You've got Jared Goff, who took you to a Super Bowl.
Right.
And he said, you know what? Not enough. We're going to swing for the fences. We're going to get Matthew Stafford. And guess what? Championship.
Yep.
That's what
First
it's
year.
freaking all about, man. That's what you've got to do. Anyway, so, all right, Swag Jeff, take us to a break. And then let's do a quick Raiders and pop culture. And then here we go to get into the Sea of Fans.
You're listening to The Violator, and I'm live on Raiders Fan Radio. Where you at, baby?
Oh, wow, look at that.
Wow.
Hi, this is AJ Cole from the Las Vegas Raiders, and you're listening to Murf, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Just win, baby.
Wow.
Shout out to chat, Swag Jeff, and
absolutely.
especially that big one
Yeah,
there.
absolutely. So we got Lorenzo Cuarez in there, Raider Loco, Mud Sharks in there, T3 Sports Guy, our buddy T-Hum's in there, the grumpy ass Raider fans in there, Justin Tolman's in there, Stacy Rough Raider, Pirate 1975, Storm, and our good buddy Intel. So Intel, man, much respect. He says, love you guys. A $100 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Big respect.
Much respect, dude. It's been a couple weeks since we've seen you, man. So welcome
that's
back,
awesome,
and thanks
man.
for the
Thank
love,
you, man. That's
much respect.
Too
dude.
kind, man. Of course, 100% of that money is
Yeah.
going to go to the One Nation Foundation.
Yeah,
That's our nonprofit that gives to strictly Raiders-related charities. And so with your generosity this year, Raider Nation, we were able to raise a couple $1,000s for the Raider Dad folks, and then also $15,000 for the Bolitnikoff Foundation.
fantastic.
We can't
Incredible.
wait to present that check on your behalf this
Little
November
over a month.
3rd. A little over a month, man. It's coming
that's
up quick.
crazy.
Coming up quick. Got the reservations in.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a good time in Vegas. So hey, see you at the tailgate. Oh, hey, by the way, Gil, if you're still watching, I need to hit you up.
Yeah, we're coming to your tailgate.
We're coming to your tailgate,
We're coming to your
guys.
tailgate. Yeah, so, anyways, and I've meant to message Gil this week, and I haven't done it yet. But appreciate you, Gil, very much, and anybody else that's going to be out there. Yeah, definitely come link up with us there for the Raider tailgate against the Giants, which I thought was a pretty winnable game for us.
Question mark.
Where's my?
We might not win another game.
Listen,
I'll tell you.
it's a sad reality.
It is rough out here in these Raider streets. There is no doubt.
Streets. Rough.
But
Rough in these streets.
Yeah, but we'll all be in that silver and black no
You
matter
damn
what.
right.
You're damn right.
You're damn
Damn
right.
right.
We
All
may
right,
not
so
win another game.
So for speaking of guys that rep the silver and black, so I'm gonna jump over into Raiders and pop culture.
Yes.
This is where we feature. The Raiders will occasionally get mentioned and brought up in commercials or TV shows or music or movies or anything like that. And so we like to feature those. And a lot of times we got to go into the Wayback Machine for a lot of this stuff. But there's been seemingly here lately from the I Am Virgo comments about the Raiders, from that TV show to this TV show, which is called This Fool. Okay. Okay. This Fool. It's on Hulu. I've not seen the show before.
Okay.
But someone sent us this clip and said, "Hey, this would be a killer clip for you guys for your Raiders and pop culture."
Okay.
So shout out the folks that at the producers or whatever at This Fool, and check this out. And I think this is, sometimes when you're watching a Raider game, and we all kind of talked about this a little bit pre-show, when people are talking during the Raider game, it's pretty annoying. Like, it ain't it's a watch party, not a talk party. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So let's check out what the folks or this, and I wish I knew the character's name, but anyways, I'm sure somebody in the chat room does. Let's check out to this guy settling in on his couch. He's got like a bowl of cereal or something there he's getting ready to eat, and there's a bunch of people behind the couch talking.
Girl, it looks so cute. I love this jacket. Okay, we need to go
Hey.
strap together.
I don't mean to be rude, but if you wouldn't mind shutting your fucking mouth, I'm trying to watch our Raiders.
Did you hear that? Let me do it again.
Girl, it looks so cute. I love this jacket. Okay, we need to go
Hey.
strap together.
I don't mean to be rude, but if you wouldn't mind shutting your fucking mouth, I'm trying to watch our Raiders.
Was that me?
Right? Love that. So good.
There he is, fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's tied, he's thrown. It is.
All right. So, hey, so if you tuned in late, where the hell were you? So we do have and if you see me right here, I'm rocking the Manscaped, man. So Manscaped, your balls will definitely thank you for this. So go to Manscaped. Anything you buy, use promo code Murf. That is MURF, Murf. We need some people to use that promo code. It's 20% off, but Manscaped is like willing to join us long term, become a part of the Made Men to support the One Nation Foundation. So if you need anything, whether it be nut trimmers, whether it be nose trimmers, the foot spray. So if you're like me, if you're like Lamont, anybody that wears work boots all the time every day to work, your feet are stanky, bro.
Yeah.
Your feet are real stanky, and they need to be. It's hot out here in these streets, man. So spray them feet with the foot dusters. You get that right there. They just came out with all the cologne. Yeah. The cologne smells really good.
I think Devin's gonna get the cologne.
They got lotions. They got the T-shirt that I'm rocking tonight. They got underwear that is so silky smooth. So anything like that, promo code Murf, help us out because we want a sponsorship for the long term from the Manscaped folks. So get in the mix, man. So hey,
thank you, Manscaped.
Yeah. So hey, some more of us and less of, or more of
that's it.
Us. More of them and less of us. Whatever.
Just go with it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Call us and email us and shit.
I don't think he had it.
So you can call and email us and shit at a couple different places. What is this show?
Damn it, man.
You can email the show anytime at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. That's SHOW at Raiders Fan Radio. You can also call the show at 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. And if we play your message on the show 3 times, you can become a made man or a made woman, or you can email us an indefinite amount of times and become a made man or a made woman. And we've got an absolute ton of voicemails and emails tonight. So let's pray for Michelle because she's got the heavy lifting tonight to read these emails. And if you want to tap one of us in at any time, we'll be glad to help out. But in the meantime, let's check in with Michelle as she goes through your emails. And there's 10 of these.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's
great
thick.
stuff.
Like a book.
Like a book. So anyways, appreciate everybody that did that tonight because, again, this show is best when it's conversational. And so thank you all of those of you tonight. And Michelle, who do we got?
All right, we got Hooligan Nation first. Evening, RFR crew. Hooligan Nation here once again. I really wasn't sure if I would even email today. After the debacle that was our home opener, I wasn't sure if I could say much that would be positive. I thought long and hard about what I'd say. Well, here's something good that came out of the weekend. The Donkeys got their ass handed to them by the Chicken of the Sea. Carry on. Oh, yeah, and go Raiders. Just win, baby.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good
true.
job, Hooligan.
You really have to look at the other shit shows that are going on to forget about your own shit
right?
show.
Yeah, we're not that level of suck. Thank goodness.
All right, we got Daniel Mangus next. Dear RFR, well, shit. After a disappointing loss to the Raiders sit at 1-2, and now McDaniels, in my opinion, is playing for his job. If he loses to the dumbass Staley, his seat will be so hot he won't even be able to sit. I was seeing the same BS as last year on offense and inability to sustain drives, and that's going to cost us a lot of games. So who's up next? The LA Super Chokers. We can beat this team because Staley is a dumbass. He will find a way. Yeah, he will find a way to blow the game. Plus, it's just the confidence boost this team needs. I can see it now, Raiders win 24-20, and Monday morning the Chargers fire their head coach and cry in the cellar of the division with the Donkeys. Here's to hoping that happens. Yours truly, Daniel Mangus. P.S. Swag, I'm sending the jersey on Saturday, so be on the lookout, and please send me a video of Charlie opening it. Love to see her reaction.
Nice.
Oh, that's precious.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah. Much
Thank you.
respect. Much respect.
Love those brothers. Speaking of brothers, this is Matthew Mangus.
Hey, Matthew.
Get ready, Murph.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the potty mouth Mangus.
Get ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Hello, RFR family. Nope. Prepare the bleep button. Why the did we lose to the Steelers? Why does this happen to us? I mean, why? That's it. I've seen enough of Coach McDonald's. Yes, McDonald's, because he's a clown with a capital C. No innovation on offense, nothing on defense. It's the same shit that won us 6 games last year, and now we could very well be on our way to a 3-win season. I'm so tired of losing. I'm tired of being the most dysfunctional organization in the NFL. Mark Davis has no idea how to get this organization on the right track on the field. I'm done with Coach McDonald's. He will be referred to as Coach McDonald's until he proves to me that he can win consistently. Right now, they should rank the season and prepare to go after Marvin Harrison Jr. with a new head coach. Rant over. I'm now off to drown my sorrows in microbiology. Stay safe, Raider Nation. Matthew M., pissed off Raiders fan, 2-time Gemini Man winner. P.S. Fire Coach McDonald's.
Wow, what a good run there.
And also, that was good. We did great.
That was great. Yeah, you know, I love how the Mingus boys, they're so hot
They're
and cold
so
with
different.
Coach McDonald's.
They are. McDonald's.
They love them when we win and they hate them when we lose.
Absolutely.
Same.
Yeah, and good stuff there, Michelle. We're like the
Get
rhythm
ready
section.
for
We're like
this
John
one, 'cause
Bonham and
it's-
John Paul
this
Jones.
was
over here.
I love it. Okay, ready? Because it's coming.
Okay.
All right, not yet.
Okay.
All right. That was a test. I'm at work, so email it is. This is YO Raider.
Oh, hey,
Raider.
Wyoming Raider.
Yeah, definitely get
I'll
the
try to
bleed
keep it
button
clean. Should be easier as I'm typing and not ranting on the phone. What the actual is going on? Guess not, but what the hell was that Squealers game bullshit? Are we channeling our inner Amari Cooper? We have a team of lions, and we are being led by donkeys.
Oh.
How the hell does Graham still have a job? Put Uncle Mosh in. He's right there, and he has at least a normal-sized testes. Our current...
Shut up, Manscaped.
Yeah, shut up.
Your balls will thank you.
Our current coaching staff is acting like they have the balls of a bull gerbil. We have the dogs on the team using them, or get the hell out of the way and let someone with some stones coach for sake. Even the stupid ass, now here's a guy, Collinsworth, was talking about the Steelers rivalry, and I know our players know what that means, but our coaches have our team ready for a damn parade in San Francisco and not ready for a damn game. Sure, we beat the Donkeys, great, but it was an as ugly as Andy Reid's baby pictures. Oh, they probably are ugly. We've been getting out coached ever since, because that's why. We've been. I bet he does have a fat baby picture. I'm just guessing. We've been getting out coached ever since. The Bills are great, sure, but we should have been way more competitive than that. The Pittsburgh Squealers absolutely should have been a W. We have dogs on the team, a lot of them. The shit's unacceptable. Our coaching needs to pull their heads out of their asses and shove it back in a damn playbook. And why aren't we dressing Farva? Why the hell are we counting on
Yes.
Brian Hoyer? Dress O'Connell and get his ass ready for when Pretty Boy gets hurt and the champions of ugly can step up. Kick Nutless Graham out today. Put Uncle Mosh in. Dress Aiden. Give your balls a tug. Remember that you have them. And if Mick Dipshit doesn't get his shit corrected, I'm going to run down to Vegas and shove that GD visor up his ass so far the bill will tickle his tonsils. Wyoming Raider. No. Oh. Go Raiders.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
These are good.
These are freaking
also,
good.
too, I'm pretty proud of myself because I've had a few of these white claw
You're
surges.
crushing it over
I'm
there.
just saying.
Yeah, you are.
Maybe I was
crushing
built
it.
for this. Anyway.
Built different, bro. You
Okay.
built different, cuh.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, somebody called me cuh on Twitter
On
this
Twitter.
week. That's
That's why we keep
we're
referencing
joking
We're the
about
three
it. Yeah.
best cuhs that anyone
can
have.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh.
I had to get refreshed.
There
Okay.
you go, yeah.
All right. Here we have.
Refresh your ass.
This
You're
is
killing it,
T-Hom. Here we go.
Hey, T-Hom.
Now I'm going to go off the rails probably because I just bragged on myself. Okay. I woke up this morning, looked in the mirror, and asked myself, why am I still a Raiders fan? Despite all the depressing results of the past 2 weeks, I have come up with 10 reasons why I'm a still devoted fan of the Silver
nice.
Oh,
Top
this is going to
10.
be good. Ready?
Okay.
David
Number
Letterman
one.
emailing.
Number one,
Yeah.
I love playing the villain. With the Raiders, it's always us against the world, so it simply fits. It always has, and it always will. Number two, I worked for McDonald's years and years ago, and I would never ever consider working there again and wearing that stupid uniform. That includes any and all jerseys that resemble said uniform. Okay. Number three, I don't want to pull for a team that would likely require me to come down out of the stands and apply the Heimlich maneuver to the head coach.
Fact of the week.
You look like melted ice cream.
Ugh, I can actually hear you getting fatter.
Says he's fat.
Who's fat? Too fat. Big fat
fatty.
Fat fatty. Number 4, I don't want to pull for any team that changes its uniforms components so often that a collection of 3 each of every jersey variation could clothe a small third world country. Number 5, it's too much fun to give up on the notion of constantly making fun of the Denver Broncos. Number 6, I love it when another person accuses me of cheating, regardless of whether I did or just simply kicked that person's ass on the playing field. Number 7, I love having heroes like Ken Stabler and John Madden instead of doofuses like Brandon Staley or Kermit the Frog. Number 8, Metallica music simply rules. That's true. It does.
Yeah.
And our team doesn't have to get a worldwide music superstar to hang out in their private suite just so they can sell more merchandise.
Yikes.
Number 9, this is a good one. I love Woodson whiskey.
Oh, nice.
Number 10, when I put on my Raider swag, I know I'm representing the best fan base in sports, regardless of the year and regardless of the record. Al Davis was right. Even a colorblind person could see that black and white and silver is the universal color combination, brings in all people, and takes no prisoners. So some of you can take your weepy-ass, crybaby, thin-skinned fandom and go elsewhere.
Like it.
Shots fired. If you are a true Raiders fan, you'll get me. If not, you'll eventually get it. P.S. Just a reminder for some, Derek Carr is no longer a Raider. T-Hom.
Oh,
Nice.
good job, T-Hom.
That's
Much
good.
respect,
That's nice.
dude.
Okay. Who is it? Oh, this is DJ Lenny Danger.
Nice.
Okay. Blessings, Murf, Swag, Michelle, and the RFR family. What can I say that hasn't been said already? Tomlin is a great coach, and that's facts. But aren't we supposed to have an offensive guru as our head coach? I'm pretty sure everyone who follows football knows our weekly game plan. Just throw it to Adams. We've become so one-dimensional that it's comical. How is it that an offensive guru can't figure out how to get Renfro or our tight end, involved?
Yeah.
We couldn't beat a lackluster Steelers team. How can we be optimistic about beating any team on our schedule? As a fan from 1982, I'm so tired of losing seasons. I can't even blame the defense on this one. Our offense didn't do anything. Jimmy G needs to stop thinking he can air it out, because he can't. Underthrowing receivers or throwing it behind them, I thought we brought him in because he knows the system. He's looking just as lost as DC did. And did you see the happy feet? Holy crap. I thought I was watching a tap dancing competition out there. Anywho, I'm keeping this one short. My standout players would be as followed. Hobbs played good.
Yes.
Did. Diablo held his ground.
Yep.
Spillane played well. Crosby did his thing, but he needs to win more on his one-on-one matchups. Adams, nothing to say there. Jacoby, good second option. Losers. Jimmy G, McDaniels, and the Raiders. I'm DJ Lenny Danger, and I am out.
Wow. Yeah, and one thing we didn't talk about during all of our rants about this game is, and much respect to Marcus Peters. I love that guy. Love that guy.
Oh, that game changes,
I'm
right?
telling you, man.
It changes completely.
The dynamic of the game changed when he dropped that pick six.
Oh, and that was
He was going to the house, bro.
plate served up to him.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, that was served
That one
up on a
hurt.
silver platter,
that
man.
hurt.
Like
And he
that
knew
one,
it.
That's a
as
good
soon
call.
as
He
it
knew it,
happened.
and Raider Nation knew it. If Raider Nation was anything like me, that ball touched his hand, and I was like,
Yeah.
Like it was one of those like moments
Deflated
like last
us.
year in the Chiefs game when Deshaun Jackson caught the ball and then fumbled it. It was like, no. Like, damn
Yeah.
it.
And it,
What are we doing?
Yeah, that was
That
rough.
deflated you, and the momentum just
It just
aired
never
out.
recovered.
Gone.
Yeah,
Never
yeah,
recovered.
Yeah.
All right. We have Carl Howard.
Hey, Carl.
Love the show. Need to vent. And somehow figured y'all may relate to how I feel.
Probably.
I posted this to my Facebook wall. An open letter to Mark Davis and the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, you're not quitting, are you?
I feel like he's a
Sorry.
lifer.
I feel so.
As a Raider fan, I'm frustrated. I do not speak for all of the Raider Nation, but I'm sure many will agree. I remember the pride of being a Raider fan. I remember Howie Long, Marcus Allen, and Tim Brown. I remember the Raiders playing a style of defense that was bordering on criminal. I remember Bo and Marcus owning most of any defender. I remember Gannon throwing to Rice, Brown, and Porter. I remember a commitment to excellence that wasn't a catchphrase. It was a lifestyle.
Ooh.
Just win, baby, has turned into just show up, please. What happened to that standard? What happened to that commitment? We, the Raider Nation, have been force-fed substandard football for years. We have seen flashes like 2016 and 2021, only to have the team, staff, system, or all of the above completely overhauled for the following season. We seem to be constantly rebuilding, and there appears to be absolutely no continuity whatsoever. As we can see by the staffing and roster recently, it appears that the organization is trying to duplicate the success New England had by attempting to be New England. This will not work because this is not the Raider way. The ground, pound, bomb offensive mentality is in the genetic makeup of the Raiders. A mean, nasty, almost felonious defense is in the Raiders' DNA. He ain't wrong.
Come on.
We need to get back to what the Raiders were: explosive, dominating, exciting, and proud. As a person, you can only pretend to be something you're not for so long, and the same theory applies here. We are not New England. We are the Las Vegas Raiders. We need to be the Raiders again to be successful, and it's up to you to make that happen. Just win, baby. Carl Howard and frustrated Raider fans everywhere.
Damn, Carl
That
Howard.
was a solid email. Yeah.
Have we heard from Carl before?
No, Carl's a new emailer.
Is that a new emailer?
Yeah, and I love that borderline.
He's in the chat a lot. Yeah.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
Borderline felonious, man. That's
I
legit,
like that.
dude. Good
Keep
job,
doing
Carl.
that, Carl. You
Solid
become a
email,
made
Carl.
man, bro.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, that
Absolutely.
was good. That was good. All right, we got Vegas Raider Pete.
Hey, Pete.
I can't believe what I heard you say on Silver and Black today, Murph.
Uh-oh.
I guarantee you Ziegler and McDaniels hurt more and take losses harder than anyone. The O-line is terrible so far. Jimmy G almost got broke in half. Oh, that was rough. That speeds up the quarterback when you can't run or protect. That speeds up the quarterback when you can't run or protect the quarterback. I listen to and hear all day of Raider Nation radio. If there was a locker room fracture, I would have heard it. Truth is, except for a few plays here and there with bad calls, these failures are on the players. They're making the mistakes. McDaniels came from New England where they won 6. They know what a winning team looks like. This is on the players. 66 should be benched. A few others that aren't pulling their weight. I like guys who blow coverage. Steelers game, we beat ourselves. It's one game. Next Sunday, game starts at 0-0. People calm down. We have 14 weeks to go. Take them one at a time. Players are taught to not get too high when you win or low when you lose. Fans should take that advice. We're not the Broncos 0-3 who gave up 70. We have to stop making mistakes and beating ourselves. Vegas Raiders, Pete.
Hey,
you go.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you.
Can I respond to
Sure, absolutely.
I'm with you, Pete. It's early still, but I think that where you catch the reaction from us is that we as Raider fans have now been preconditioned. Our behavior is conditioned. Our responses are conditioned based on what happened to us previously and to the team previously, that once we see it heading down a path, our freaking alarms start going off and we can see this stuff from a mile away. So I would say to you that it's not overreactionary based on everything that we've gone through in the past. And in terms of putting it on the players, well, I think that's a valid response. And again, no one's sitting around these microphones to tell you that you're wrong and we're right or anything else. But I would encourage you to consider this, that the reason those players are in the building is because our coaches and GM thought they were good enough and decided to not make any big moves in the offseason, or at least the moves that they thought were big weren't big enough to be able to accommodate, playing defense for this team this year and or offense for that matter as well. So I think that ultimately the responsibility does come down to them. Well, game in and game out, it may not. When you look at the collective of the first 3 games, there's nothing else, but there's no evidence to prove otherwise yet,
Well,
Jeff.
and I'll say this, and Josh McDaniels is my favorite head coach because he's the head coach of my favorite football team. But I think the question needs to be raised. Yes, Josh McDaniels is an offensive-minded coach. He's the offensive guru. Bill Belichick, one of the best coaches. Was it Tom? Was it Tom? Might have been Tom.
Might have been
You know
Tom.
what I mean? Look at the Patriots now.
Might have been Tom.
Might have been Tom.
Might have been Tom.
Might have been Tom, man.
Because this is how I look at it. Maybe the players aren't performing to their level that they should be, but that's still coaching.
Yeah.
That is still coaching. And I think everything leads to that. Like because I don't know what a great Coach Bisaccia was, but they played for him
right
because
he's a leader,
he was a
man.
leader of
Yep.
men.
Come on.
I want to know why McDaniels can't raise these guys to that level. Like, so I think even if players aren't playing to their potential, that's still a coaching issue because the coaches
100%.
have to raise them to that level.
Amen.
And they have to want to play for that coach or those
Right.
coaches. So I think you can say the players aren't reaching their potential, but that's still a coaching issue.
100%. You know,
So-
I said on Silver and Black today, and you know, and I'm a junkie for leadership.
Yes.
And when you look at all the institutions that exist, from churches to businesses to governments to any kind of institution, you can have the most brilliant strategy that's ever existed, but if your constituents don't buy in, if you don't have their, you know what I mean, their 100% commitment to the vision, then you've lost. Then you're just showing off. And so I think I'm totally with you on that, Michelle, that like, you know, at a certain point, the reason that when you look, okay, let's just, and I'll say this brief, and then let's go back to the emails because we got a lot to get to.
Yeah.
There are some amazing coaches in the NFL right now. I think about what Mike McDaniel's doing, you know, with the Dolphins. I think about what Robert Saleh is. I think about even like, listen, and you know, there's only been 3 head coaches for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and one of them is Mike Tomlin, who I think the world of as a head coach. And when you look at them, they are all, as Michelle mentioned, they are leaders of men. And even when you are deficient at talent, and even when you are deficient at strategy, the culture of your organization will propel you to success. That's the bottom line, man. And right now we are coming up freaking zeros on that when you know what I mean? And when it comes to our Raiders. And I think that the thing that really sets me off is that when again, going back to the leadership perspective, when the leaders of our organization are at the podium and they're asked questions and we get the, well, you know,
the shrug.
You know, no, Josh, we don't know. It's up to you to explain it to us.
Right.
You're the one that's calling these shots. And so those nonchalants that, like, I know you come from the Bill Belichick school of, like, don't give too much away. And you listen to I didn't play a lot of the press conference. If you noticed, those of you who listen to the show long enough, I've stopped playing press conferences because they're all the exact same and they're all so boring. But guess what, Josh? You ain't Bill Belichick. And whether the Bill Belichick was a result of Tom Brady or not, bottom line is that he's got the bona fides and you don't. And so he can get away with that. You can't. I'm going to shut up, Michelle. Please get us back into the emails here because I'll go on another rant again. I don't want to do that.
Stacy Rough Raider.
Dang, freaking Raiders,
I
man.
know, man. Serious. Salutations and regards, RFR family in the nation. I tried this year to only send an email when we won. Hoped you would get to hear from me in a more positive light and not.
This will be the last time we hear from you.
Oh, we have a sad sack here. Like all these fake trash ass booty trash Raider fans cheering on the Saints.
Trash ass booty trash.
Listen, if you're cheering on the Saints, you are trash ass booty trash. But we haven't lost yet. I just have to say defensively, I can't wait for Uncle Mosh to take over the defense. PG 2.0. Stop it. I know. I do. I love it. It's so good.
It's amazing.
Stop it with the zone. Oh, mother.
Oh, and go.
Okay, yeah. We have a good cover corners. Let them do what they do. Use our depth and keep them fresh. If we can't just cover for 3 to 5 seconds, Max would be leading the league in sacks, not TJ Watt. Offensively, I have yet to see why we haven't changed anything since Jack Del Rio. At least he smacked Elway in the donkey lips. No harm, Mikey. And walked to Oakland and demanded a job. At least that was more Raider than this lackluster, non-inspiring crap that we are subjected to. If I was alive and had a projector, shit would be real. Hell, even Josh can't run. And don't say it's the O-line. While JJ had 300 yards against the only people in the league playing in a worse city. Oh, I think he said negative 300 yards against the only people in the league playing in the worst city and shithole than we did in Oakland. And Zeus came in and had 2 to 3 good pops for more yards than he had all preseason. JJ needs to sleep. JJ needs to sleep in the car and remember where he came from. Oof, that's tough. That was tough.
That's not okay.
Yeah,
let's not do that.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Let's not do that.
Get hungry, playa. Cash them checks with performance and pride, not shame and regret. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm actually back to square one. I don't even care if we win. I want to look down on the field and say, that's my team. Not, that is some fake-ass resemblance of a team I loved so much in the 70s and 80s. Is that too much to ask? I think we have the player. They just don't seem to be in the right places. And this isn't just McDaniels. It's every recent coach we have had since Art Shell 1.0 and John Gruden 1.0. Since just win, baby, seems too much. Just punch somebody in the mouth already. Stacy Rough Raider, desperately trying to be a proud fan and made man. P.S. Oh, look. Tay just caught his 30th catch for a total of 17 yards. FML.
Nice.
All right, Stacey.
We are down bad, aren't we?
We're down bad, man.
We are
I'm
down
telling
bad. All right, well, here's Paul, and I feel like Paul's going to give us some good perspective.
Come on, Paul.
Take us home, Paul. Take us home.
Okay, here we go. Evening, everybody.
Hey, Paul.
I hope you've recovered a little after Sunday.
Hell no.
I know, we're still a little fired up. I was still pacing around the garden at 5:30 a.m. trying to calm down. It didn't work. It's become quite clear over the first 3 weeks that our roster isn't being used to its full potential, and clearly the coach isn't as good as he thinks he is either. I'm a firm believer that a team plays in its coach's image. That's why we look awkward and confused most of the time. And now that there's tape out there of how to stop us, even the bad teams will have success. It's all too predictable. The very least we need to see this year, even if we are losing games, is cohesion and some sort of progression. We're not seeing either right now. There is talent on this roster, but this scheme is blinding them so much that the basics aren't being done. It just looks disjointed and chaotic at times, and there's no consistency. Poor game management was a big issue last year, and that's been evident again, particularly in the last 5 minutes of the game on Sunday. I'm not sure any of us would have kicked a field goal in that situation, would we? Hell no. We keep seeing and hearing that McDaniels and Ziegler only want players that will fit their system. Can somebody tell me exactly what that system is? And what exactly is our identity? Two of the biggest issues are the head coach and offensive coordinator, and lo and behold, they're the same guy. Don't let anybody fool you that Mick Lombardi is our OC, because he ain't. McDaniels wears both hats.
Yep.
Lombardi is a water boy and about as pointless as Phillip Rivers' wife putting a lock on the bedroom door. I just love Paul. I'm still not going to call for heads to roll just yet. Although anybody that does have
better man than we are.
Amen. Although anybody that does have a compelling argument for it. I just feel it's not going to happen at this stage of the season. McDaniels is a stubborn man. He believes he's right. He thinks it's all on the player's lack of execution. He has zero accountability, and he has a best mate for a GM. So save your breath, nation. I don't see any personnel changes, at least till the bye week at week 13, even if things continue the way they are. What you see is what you get for now, folks. We're going to have to keep riding this particular roller coaster for a while yet. Ooh. Do I want Josh McDaniels as our head coach? No, I never did. Do I believe he'll turn this around? Not particularly. Not on the evidence so far. Do I want him to succeed? Hell yes. Like you wouldn't believe. I want him to stick my uneducated opinion so far up my ass, it comes out the top of my head. But it's not about my opinion. It's not about my feelings towards the man personally. It's about wanting to see wins for the Raiders and an end to this constant cycle of nothing. Mark Davis, if you're listening, and I'm sure he is, if you feel the big fan. If you feel the right thing to do is to stand by your guy, then so be it. But if you want us to back your judgment, then your little minion has got to give us something to believe in. And right now, he's heading in the wrong direction. My heart says we're capable of improvement and all is not lost, but the Raiders turned my heart into a tattered piece of cloth years ago. My eyes tell me differently. There's still too much underachievement from too many, and they're letting the good guys down badly. As the saying goes, it's not over till the fat lady sings. Well, she ain't singing yet, but she's warming but she's warming up in the dressing room. So sort yourselves out, people. Get your heads up from your asses and start showing some pride in the jersey you're wearing, because the pitchforks and torches are being prepared. As I type this, there's possibility that Brian Hoyer could start in L.A. due to Jimmy G.
Oh, my gosh.
Ugh, that hurts.
Nightmare scenario.
Due to Jimmy G being under concussion protocol. If McDaniel starts Hoyer instead of the Irish Cannon, he could become the first head coach to be fired during a game. 2 things for the weekend, Raiders. Pride and poise, and just win, baby. Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi. Polly Award winner 2019 and 2022. Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020. BRT Sizzler scorekeeper. Proud made man. Five time times 2 plus 1. Winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Gotta go, Paul.
Let's go.
Way to bring it home, Paul.
Yeah, Paul, he always brings it home.
Paul. Paul.
Paul.
Paul.
Paul.
Paul. Paul. Paul. Paul. Paul. Claude.
Paul.
Paul.
Paul, your name Paul?
Paul. Paul.
I met him with Paul. Who? Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
All right, good job there, Paul. Amazing email. And let's get up for Michelle.
Hey. Holy cow.
That's a lot of emails.
That was a lot
They
of
were good
emails.
stuff, though,
That was
man.
great
All
stuff
good.
there. We appreciate you all very, very much. And so, we barely talked about this game coming up against the Chargers. I'll just say this, and I'll just give you a quick little tail of the tape there. So the Raiders versus the Chargers, regular season, we have the lead 67 to 57 with 2 ties. The Raiders at home, this is a home game for us, are 33-28 and 1. Raiders on the road, 33-29 and 1. Postseason, the Raiders lead 1-0. Current streak, Raiders won last meeting 27-20 at Allegiant Stadium that we had the good fortune of being at the no, that wasn't that game that we won. It was the one before that that we won to go to the playoffs. But I'll say this, and the idea of McDaniels, and let's keep this brief because I want to jump into the voicemails because we've got a ton to get to. But just to throw it around real quick, the idea of McDaniels getting fired mid-season, this arguably, hopefully, is not the case, but to date, is arguably our first home game. The reports are in that the Raiders are a 70-30, 65-35 type scenario because we all know that they moved the wrong team to LA.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be a home game for the Raiders. If we get punked against the Chargers, and there's a caveat, and I'll tell you what the caveat is. Not only if we lose, but if the body language and the display on the sideline is funky, Mark Davis is still his old man. You can talk about what he drives. You can talk about where he eats. You can talk about what he wears. You can talk about how he does his hair. There's a lot of things that people pick on Mark Davis about. But at the end of the day, he doesn't like to be embarrassed. He is still Al Davis's kid. And if you punk him on national television, he'll make a damn change. So I think that granted, it's got to be bad and it's got to look bad. But if those two things are what's going to happen at SoFi this weekend, I'm not saying that he's going to not make the plane home and do a Jack Del Rio and make him go announce his own firing. But listen, we've seen that before, Swag Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And the key to that game, and I mean, plain and simple, you got to score points. If we're we're averaging less than 20. We haven't cracked the 20-point mark yet. If we can't crack 20, we're not going to win that game.
It's going to be a long day,
It's going to be a long day, man. So, offense, we're looking at you. Score points.
Score points.
Score points.
I think before the game, Mark Davis needs to stand his redheaded ass in that mirror and ask himself, even before the game, Dad, what would you do if it goes this direction or if it goes this direction? And he needs to know right then. And then when it happens, if it happens, I pray it doesn't happen. But if the Chargers beat us in an ugly way, like you said, Murph,
right?
Do something
It's
drastic.
it's time.
Do something major. Make some waves. Show the front office that you are not effing around. You want to win games, and you're tired of this BS. Like, he is the owner of the team. Shave your balls and show the team what you're made of.
Yes.
Like, damn.
Come on.
I don't understand, because you own the team. You can do what you want. I don't care what people think. If you're the owner of the team and you see some shit on your field that you brought from Oakland to Vegas, do something drastic and show them that you're not effing around.
I'm with you. I'm with you because why would you want to bring that home?
Why?
Like, if you lay an egg at SoFi, like why would you want to bring that home? That's what I'm telling you, man. Like it's gonna get.
Sunday was embarrassing enough. Home opener.
Yes. Yeah. That I'm with you.
Don't get embarrassed in your second home.
Don't aim it. Preach.
Damn it.
Let's go, Michelle. All right, let's get to these voicemails because more of you and less of us is a good thing, and we've got an absolute ton of amazing voicemails. And so, so we have a thing around here where so if you call the show 909-345-3346 and you leave a message, you only get a 3-minute window before Google cuts you off. And so we play a nice little funny little thing there where Google Voices claimed you and all that kind of stuff. But we had somebody call the show that we don't hear from in voicemail very often, and Google Voice got her. But we're not going to play that soundbite, and I'm just going to play her 2 calls together because amazing points. Like we have some amazing Raider fans that listen to this show, and there's no ranking because there's a million of you, and you are all amazing, and we love the correspondence. But I really dig Just Win Wendy. I dig her approach to the game. I dig her passion around the Raiders. She's been a Raider fan for a hot minute. Like Just Win Wendy, she just brings it. And so we're going to put her to the top of the list tonight and kick off the Sea of Fans voicemail segment with Just Win Wendy. And I love these takes and great job, Wendy.
Hey, everybody. This is Just Win Wendy. And you know what? I'm not feeling so positive tonight. I really, really wanted to call in because I couldn't write anything positive. I came home. I went to the game. I saw everything live. And I haven't had my hopes so high for a long time. They had the alumni, and Kent Stater's daughter got a ring, and it was so happy. And it was just going so well, and got a 3-and-out on the first drive, and I'm like, all right, our defense is going. And then we went 3-and-out, and then we got another 3-and-out on their second drive, and I'm like, okay, our defense is going. And then, we started to play like a team. It looked really good. And so I'll tell you, all the way up to halftime, I thought we were doing really well, but we weren't doing as well as I thought we were going to do. And then halftime came, and we got to see Lil Wayne, and that was awesome. And we had little bracelets that had lights on them and went ding, ding, and it was all, very, very Vegas. There was a lot of Vegas stuff there. I mean, Carrie Underwood was even there.
Oh, that's right.
And then the second half started, and I just got lower and lower and lower in my seat. I just kept falling lower and lower and putting my hand over my eyes. And then I go, oh, maybe we're gonna do something. And then we didn't. And then I actually got up when the last 2 minutes of the game, and I walked out. I mean, I have never done that in my whole life of watching Raider games, either at home or anywhere. I've never walked out on the last 2 minutes. Well, maybe when the Chiefs were beating us really bad sometime. But most of the time, never walk out. I walked out. I couldn't handle it. I was just so upset. And after the game, I went to hear JT's post-game show, and he was upset. I heard him swear. He was swearing off the air. He was really upset. We were all really upset. And so here it's like 2 days later, and I came home and I watched the game on TV because I thought, well, if I'm going to call it, I have to have something positive to say. So I will. I'll say a couple of positive things.
Okay.
One of them is Max Crosby is a beast.
There we go.
And he will continue to be a beast. And Tay Adams is wonderful. He's such a great player. I love him. So that's 2 things. Hi, this is Just Win Wendy. I'm so sorry I went over, but I have to say a couple of important things. Number 1, I really don't like our coach. I really don't like our coach. I really didn't like him 6 months ago. I'm not even any happier now. Believe me. I was trying to be so positive this season, and I just can't handle it. But, you know, we'll just see what happens. And I hope Aiden O'Connor plays this Sunday. Please, please. I hope we don't have to watch Brian Hoyer. And, everybody there, I really, really, really love you guys. And I'm so sorry that we lost last week because I always like being positive and calling the show and having everybody happy. And we're just not happy. Okay, this is Just Win Wendy, and I will see you on the radio.
Oh, my
Wendy freaking
Killed it,
rules.
right?
Yes. Let me tell you something. When you have broken Wendy, because she's one of the most, she is always like pumping people up to be positive and like really just, hang in there. And when you have broken Wendy,
damn it,
you
Raiders.
effing made me an enemy because I feel like Wendy needs to be
Like,
protected.
you can hurt me.
You can hurt
but
me.
Don't hurt
'cause
Wendy.
But
Leave
man,
Wendy
no,
alone.
leave Wendy
right.
alone. Don't make me have to come after somebody because Wendy's always so positive.
She's always so positive.
But I feel
She's the
her on
sweetest
that.
person in the
she's
world.
the sweetest person, and she's always positive. So to know that Wendy was down bad, that's rough,
That's
man.
rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
We are down bad.
We are down bad
Raider
right
Nation.
now. All right. So,
Damn it.
So thank you, Wendy. And keep those calls coming. It was so great to hear from you, Wendy. That was awesome.
Five Raiders said, I'm going to cut somebody. I feel you.
Hey, baby.
That's
She don't mess
bad,
around.
man. She don't mess around.
She carry a blade.
We're together on that.
She carry a blade.
Yeah. I've seen the wrong end of it a couple times.
He's like, you're pulled together, Murf.
Don't tell us about your life.
He's going to pull a lawnmower next time. Like,
Hey,
hey, get
that's
that
right.
eyebrow. You better watch out.
Don't piss off a Guatemalan. She'll cut you. All right.
She'll whack your weeds, bruh.
All right. Stop it. All right, so next up, let's check
Shout
in.
out Manscaped.
Shout it out.
Let's check in with our good buddy down in San Diego. Love to hear from this guy, one of the OG made men. Let's hear from Mojo.
Hey, Murf, Swaggy J, Michelle, made men and women, Raider Nation. It's your boy, Mojo, out here in San Diego. Listen, I'm calling because I have a bit of a Raiders conspiracy theory to share with everybody.
Oh, my gosh.
I can't wait for this to get played and just kind of check out the comments in the chat section. You know how Chandler Jones never really showed up much last year? He got that one weird, recovery during the Patriots game and ran it back for a touchdown. But that's pretty much all he did all year, man. Everybody was saying, like, where's Chandler Jones? Where's Chandler Jones?
We haven't even talked about that.
You heard it here first,
Right.
okay? The guy was in Arizona and somehow was replaced by a lizard person. Okay?
I love
He
Mojo.
came, he got signed, he played
I love
last
him.
year, obviously very out of character. And next thing you know, now he's going off about Mark Davis's pedophile ring.
I like where this is going.
He's starting to get tired of being in that human form, and he's, kind of hiccuping and having glitches because he's trying to get back to being a reptile. Anyway, baby, let's get that done this week. I'm optimistic, even though the Buffalo game looked like a molly-whopping nonsense garbage fest. I'm still on board. I'm quickly losing hope. Just win.
Just trying to get back to being a reptile.
Shit, Mojo.
Great take, Mojo.
He's right.
I mean,
Oh,
you're not
my
wrong,
gosh.
Mojo.
That's
my
pretty
gosh.
spot on, though. I'm not going to lie.
Well, what
gonna
else
lie.
would explain it?
That's it.
That's
That's
all.
the
yeah,
question.
that's it.
Oh my gosh, Mojo, that's the
glitchy.
palate cleanser you need right there. Is Mojo accusing Chandler Jones
I love
of
it.
being part of the lizard people?
Well,
Oh my gosh. All right, let's now. Damn you, Mojo. Okay. All right, let's check in with the shit. All right, huh?
okay.
All right. Let's check in with our buddy Rob Vega. So he's in the 308, but not the area code. Rob Vega is calling us from Section 308 at Allegiant Stadium.
Oh, no.
Murf and the crew. This is Rob Vega calling from Section 308. Yeah, man, I'm here. Came to the game. If you could hear the cheering, these are Steeler fans staying after. cheering like they just won the Toddler Bowl because that's what they did. Look, man, first, I just got to call out all the Raider Nation, man. Oakland, L.A., Las Vegas, all points in between and just beyond. Y'all didn't show up. Home opener, 2 false starts because there were more Steelers fans here than there were Raider fans.
Yikes.
Just got to call it like it is. I was here all last season, every game last season, and I can tell you it was the exact same thing. So I just got to say, it's not the Chargers. It's not their win. It's not when the Raiders win. That's not what it is, man. The Raider fans just don't show up. Raider fans had every opportunity to buy a ticket for this game and didn't. Steeler fans did. They got to go to work on Monday too, just like everybody else. Second, man, this team, wow. I have never seen a defense more disinterested in getting a stop. I'd never seen a defense that could not be bothered by getting a turnover. Man, and this offense is just too little too late, man. I don't know, but we just lost the Toddler Bowl. I said it the same last year when we lost to the Colts. We lost the Toddler Bowl. Anyway, man, I'm still here. Go Raiders. Love my team. I'll be here on Monday night. Go Raiders. Man, we got some work to do.
Wow. Much respect.
There you go, Rob.
Much respect, Rob, up there in 308. And, you know, we've talked a lot about the takeover situation and the idea that opposing fans are going to come in, and we understand the dynamics. I understand the formula. Destination city, team that is struggling. People can make a little money off selling their tickets. Like, you know, out-of-town fan turns their vacation into something around a Raider game, plus their favorite team. I get the formula. I totally understand it. But that said, I think Rob's got a very valid opinion there that there's a very common misconception that a majority of the season ticket holders are these corporations or these businesses and whatever. That's not the case. They are season ticket holders. These are individual season ticket holders that are selling their tickets. And so I'm with you. Like, I'm not, and listen, I'll never tell anybody else how to manage their own money. I'm a capitalist at heart, and I don't begrudge you to make a little money back. But the home opener against arguably the biggest rival outside the division that the Raiders have.
That's a tough one.
That's a freaking tough one for me to swallow, man. Again, I should or shouldn't do anything. That's not a condemnation nor an acceptance speech or whatever. People are going to do what they're going to do, and it's their own finances to manage. But I would tell you what I would do. If and for whatever it's worth, is that if I'm a season ticket holder, that's not the game I'm selling.
At least
I'm
the
selling
home opener.
That's what I'm selling to the Giants fans or whatever, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Pittsburgh on the home opener?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
Or
come
like,
on.
Nah, I don't know. I don't understand. But that again, doesn't make me right. It's just my take.
Absolutely. Hey, so I want to shout out Mojo in the chat.
Please do.
He says, look at the cockroach guy in Men in Black and tell me Mark Davis is 100%
Edgar
human.
or whatever. Yeah.
Edgar.
No,
Yeah.
literally. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's right.
You don't know Men in Black?
I'm feeling him on that.
Vaguely. It's been a long time. It's been a long
Oh,
time.
my
It's been a long
gosh.
time.
You need to get on
Wasn't
Netflix
it
or
Vincent
something.
D'Onofrio or whatever? Was that is that who he's talking about?
yeah,
think
Oh, I
so,
remember
yeah.
Vincent D'Onofrio's
Yeah.
character. Yeah. Shout out Kingpin.
Yeah.
There you go, Daredevil series. All right, let's go to our good buddy up there in New Jersey. He's the president of the New Jersey chapter of the Black Hole, and also shout out Charlie Splatterhead, man. You gotta love the guy. He's amazing. He's a great Raider fan. He's a great musician, and we love his commitment to the Raiders. He's an OG guy going all the way back to the Bay Area, even though he lives out there in Jersey now. But just one of the realest Raider fans you can get. And so let's check in with Splatterhead and see what he's got to say about this week.
Hey, Splatterhead. I don't know what the hell I watched last night. I can't figure it out. Yeah, the season, we're 3 weeks in. We started, again, going into this with some kind of hope that things were going to be different than they have been. And I mean, watching last night, sometimes we go into these and we're like, everything looks great on paper, but I feel like my intelligence is being insulted if anybody thinks that this looks good on paper. And whatever. It doesn't look good on the screen. It doesn't look good on. It can't look good to whoever's coming up with the plan here. And I don't know. I think you sit there and you watch, and it's not getting any better, but you keep telling yourself it's going to get better. I've been sticking with this for years now, and I can't stop. But I don't know. I don't know who's to blame, but freaking Daryl is in Paris. I can't. You can't make this shit up. Anyway, I'm out.
You can hear the frustration there.
That's what I was going to say. Like, that's kind of like what's so disheartening and kind of such a bummer, because we're all so down.
Down.
And we're all so confused because when they brought in who they brought in and they talked about, how they wanted to do things and how they were going to do the defense and the offensive and they have all these plans, and you think, like you said, they sold us this like bill of goods, and then they ripped the rug out from under us and started moving the goalposts, like you said, and now we're all kind of like almost shell shocked, like, what are we doing? What are we doing, man?
And and shout out Splatterhead, because I mean that's like an absolute great comment there.
Yes,
it's about like I'm not gonna buy into it. Like what do you like? There's nothing. You're not presenting any evidence for me to buy into.
Right,
there's nothing there. You know what I mean? And again,
snake oil salesmen is what they feel like, man.
Absolutely.
Jeez.
And so again, shout out Splatterhead, shout out Los Gatos Locos, the undisputed kings of American Psychobilly. If you need
hell
them.
Yeah.
And if they ever get back together and play a show, man, you got to go see it. I went. So his band, they played, was it last year or year before last? Anyways, I was down in Vegas and saw them play. They played on Saturday night, and the Raiders played on Sunday.
Is that the band that you saw? Someone had a jacket on at that show I did?
At the show you did. Yeah, the Los Gatos Locos. Yeah, that's Chuck's
so
band.
Cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, they're great, man. They're freaking awesome, man. So anyways,
cool.
so shout out Splatterhead. We appreciate you
big shout
very,
out.
very much. All right, so this is an interesting phone call. So this is a caller in the 559. So I mentioned earlier that if you go 3 minutes and then Google cuts you off. And so he called back just like Wendy did. But when this guy called his first call, it was like you couldn't hear it. It was unintelligible. Like there was no, I don't know if he's in a bad cell signal or like whatever else.
Yeah.
But he called back. So caller in the 559. I don't recognize your voice, but I think 559, I think that's San Diego. Somebody down in Southern California shot me out there, picked me up on that. So call back and let us know that you called the show, because I appreciate the second half of this call. And let's check in with our caller in the 559.
Hello. How about that right in? I guess that's why they call it Sin City. No, but anyways, guys, what was up with that? I mean, I just came off a week where I predicted 20-0, and I look like the biggest idiot in the whole world. I mean,
same.
That's not why I watch the Raiders games. I don't want to watch the Raiders to lose. I don't want to watch the silver and black to lose. I want to watch the silver and black for this. Some of the old school, some of the old autumn winds feeling. So I'm down here right now. But I'm telling you what, guys. Al Davis said, the greatness of the Raiders is in its future, and I am here for it. Jimmy Garoppolo stunk it up. And my kids are getting excited. We're all getting excited right now. Woo! Come on, Raider Nation. Aiden O'Connell is the future of the Raiders. I'm saying it right now. We got to get up. We can't let this get us down, because, come on, who wants to keep rooting for a team that loses? Who wants to keep really rooting for losses? Some fans just want to be sad. They want to be angry, and it gives them some kind of weird joy. That's not what Raider Nation is about, baby. Just win, baby. Let's go. The silver and black, the pride and poise, commitment to excellence.
Let's go.
Let's go, Raider Nation. Get up. Stop being down. Get up. We got the Chargers. We're going to have our first real home game of the season. Let's go. Raider Nation at its finest. Let's go.
All right.
I love that.
So we don't know who that was. That was just caller and a
Calling the 559.
559. God, that was
I
good.
love it.
Thank
Good.
you for
I
that.
love that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, definitely call us back, my friend. That was awesome. So yeah, that was the second half of his call because he got cut off in the first part. So I'm assuming he told us his name in the first part.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah. I didn't hear it.
Yeah. No, he just said
yeah.
hello.
Yeah.
So good stuff there from caller in the 559. All right, next up, let's go down to Alabama and let's check in with our buddy Josh, who is down in the 703.
What's up, fam? Let's start this with a positive note.
Good.
I want to give respect to the Miami Dolphins.
Oh.
Yep.
Because of that ass whooping they put on the Broncos. Woo!
Oh,
That
man.
shit was beautiful. You love it. Made my Sunday. I was pumped. And then we played, and I said, what the Man, all right, so I got a lot of thoughts. I'm going to try to crowd. Defense. We all know what the defense was. It was I had no, can't remember the goddamn word, but you know what I mean. I didn't believe in the defense. They had to show it to me because of how bad they've been. You know, I know a lot of people mad at Corey Bennett, especially on that third down play, which let them essentially, run out the clock some more. But, he's a rookie, stuff like that. But it's just, I knew what it was going to be. And I hear what you said, Jeff, about it, that they weren't going to take, Carter. Got it. We also need secondary help. Could have used Gonzalez. I mean, that's the thing. Put it on Tyree Wilson. The man's not showing up. Say what you want, but he's not doing anything yet. I would have rather had Farrell out there. At least Farrell got some pressure on somebody.
Oh,
that hurts.
That hurts.
Anyways, offense. All right, man. No more. It's not ha-ha. It's not funny. It's what the Where are the tight ends and Renfro?
Come on.
Yeah.
We're not using them. And what worries me is that, the ball's not being spread around. There's two guys getting the ball, Myers and Adams. And Adams deserves it. We all agree. But the tight end is not being used. I don't know if Mayer, whatever his name is, not ready or what. But he's not being used. We can really use fucking Waller right about now, but hey, he's not there. And fucking Renfro is he's an afterthought. I don't know, man. The shit pisses me off. The run game's not going anywhere. All right, if the defense is going to struggle like we expect, the offense should be putting up points. And we're not. And Jimmy G looked like Santa Claus out there just giving out gifts. Just terrible, man. Hey, it's Raider Nation to the end as always. Man, the Chargers.
Nice.
There he is, Josh in the 703. There's so many different. We could do a 5-hour show on all the different things that are going on, but I got to tell you, and I'll keep my comments brief. The idea that you got a guy like Sam Laporta, tight end, lighting it up for the freaking Detroit Lions, setting rookie records.
Yep.
And we took our guy before him.
That's unacceptable.
Is it a talent deficiency or is it coaching? Because I feel like talent-wise, these guys were on par. If not, Michael Mayer was considered a better tight end, and that's why he was drafted ahead of Sam Laporta. The Jalen Carter thing, like I've said a few times, Jalen Carter went into a defense that's built. They are stacked on defense. So that's why he's excelling versus our guy, Tyree Wilson, who's struggling a little bit. Look at Sam Laporta. That Detroit offense is nice, and it shouldn't be as nice as ours. So why the hell is our guy not having more production?
Yeah, well, it's coaching, and it's also it's coaching for sure. But Jimmy Garoppolo, stop staring down Devontae.
Dude.
I'm telling you, man, you saw a lot of these the slow-mo replays during the game, and you see Jimmy, and he's just
locked.
He's locked in on Devontae, and I get it. Sure. I get that. He's the best wide receiver in all of the NFL, but come on, man, fake it a little bit. You
Right.
know what I mean?
And not
Because I mean,
There's
come
too
on,
many
man.
times where other people are wide open,
Bro.
but he can't. He
Yeah.
isn't the vision
Yeah.
because he's so locked in, like you said. Like,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
That's a
Well,
problem.
and even like, and I know that like the knock against Mayer coming out was that, he had questions about his blocking and all that, but he's not even just like not, well, I don't want to say he's not capable, but
Yeah.
it's not coming down to like a physically enable. It's like you see him looking around like running up and down the line of scrimmage looking for somebody. And I'm like, well, is that his fault? Like, is that him, or does he not know his assignment? Does he not know his checks? Does he not know his, you know what I mean? His protection responsibilities. Like,
Sure.
when you're wandering up and down the line of scrimmage looking for somebody to make contact with, like, I don't know if that's entirely on him. And if it is,
Yeah.
what the, like,
Renfro's
what the
open.
shit are we drafting that guy to begin with?
Renfro's open so much. Like, and I don't know, like, what the disconnect is there, but he's open a lot.
A lot.
It's
A lot.
It's
Yeah.
almost to
And
the
we're
point
not
where
film
it's
people.
bizarre.
And that's the other thing, too.
And you
Like, we
know
are
I'm
not film people.
Yeah, you know I'm not. But when
So
I
if
can
we
see that
see it-
Renfro's wide open,
Yeah.
a lot. It's not like
Yep.
it's just like once, like, oh, a one-off. He's open a lot. What are we
lot.
doing? You are
Yeah.
not surveying the field. And if you're the guy, like you said earlier, that you brought in, that's your guy, because he knows my system and he can run it efficiently and blah, blah, blah. What the are we doing?
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm so with
Totally
you.
with you.
So with you.
Yeah, I'm just so like frustrated.
Jeez. Freaking Raiders, man. That's what you do
Damn
to us.
them. Yeah.
We're still with you,
Love
though.
them.
I still love you.
I love them.
Freak you. But I love you. Hate those little freaking Raiders.
Damn, I love you.
Gosh, I love you so much. I hate you.
I feel like
Damn, I love
okay,
you.
so in Billy Madison, is it Billy Madison when he in that when his girlfriend breaks up with him, he's
yeah.
he's like, I wanna kiss you all or whatever, and he's like, no, get out of my face, I hate you so much. That's what I
Right.
feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I never want to see you again. Oh, I'm
hey,
sorry,
wait, come back,
baby. I
I'm
didn't
so
mean
sorry,
that.
baby. I
Yeah.
didn't mean that. Yeah,
Get out of my life. Who needs you?
That's what I feel like. I don't
Yeah.
like feeling like that.
Oh, my God.
I didn't mean that, baby.
Exactly.
In the meantime.
It's ridiculous.
Gosh.
Damn them for doing us like this.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Well, you're in my world now, Grandma.
How about a warm glass of shut the hell up? That's what I feel like.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Let's check in with our buddy Storm. I believe Storm's in Oregon.
Oh, I love Storm.
I love Storm. We haven't heard from him
I
in
can
a
already
minute.
tell.
All right. Let's go.
Hey there, guys. It's Storm, and it just seems like the Raider world is on fire right now. You know, a
In
few days
fact,
after
it
the
is.
game.
Yep.
I mean, this last game in Vegas versus Pittsburgh was kind of odd, in that it felt like really did feel like a make or break game for this regime, you know? Like, so many things came together for last Sunday. It was kind of unreal. We had all the Raider Hall of Famers out. It was McDaniel's 20th game as head coach. You know, it really felt like a chance for this current regime to show that they knew what they were doing.
Come on.
I mean, it really felt like this was McDaniel's and Ziegler's proof of concept game, where everything they were preaching would show that it had merit and belonged.
That is a freaking dope-ass way to put it.
Yep.
Proof of concept.
Yep.
Yep. Here we
That's it.
go.
That was
Love that.
Great job. Already, Storm. I'm in love
Come
with
on,
this voice.
Storm. Let's go.
And it ended with the official NFL Twitter account congratulating Steelers fans on a W and for showing up en masse to Vegas. I mean, it just feels like the rest of McDaniels and Ziegler's time here will be waiting until they get fired and we trade everyone and go for our 799th rebuild since 2003 while watching our team have to go on a silent count when other teams come to Vegas.
Oh.
It just feels hopeless right now. I mean, we've seen the Raiders get embarrassed a ton. And I know some people have been on this train for a little while, but I think we really need to seriously start questioning Mark Davis as an owner. He came to power in 2011 after Al died. And you know what? McDaniels is Mark's fourth hired head coach and the fifth or sixth coach under his ownership, depending on how you count, like Hugh Jackson and Rich Bisaccia, right? You know, only two of them made the playoffs, no playoff wins. And he fired the one guy that did. And Mark Davis has now, I think I saw this online, he has like a 40% win percentage as an owner. If that's true, then that's literally worse than Dan Snyder's career 42% win percentage in Washington. Like, I don't want to go overboard with the Dan Snyder comparisons. Snyder's scum. Mark isn't. But numbers are numbers, man. 40% is abysmal, especially when the Chiefs have Mahomes over there. I don't know what we do. it just feels to this point that McDaniels and Ziegler are on the short rack. You know, they're going to get fired eventually, even if it isn't this year. It just feels like this regime we're on the end of it. You know, we're just waiting for them to go. Just my thoughts. I ain't going nowhere. Raider Nation for life. But man, it sucks right now.
Come on, Storm.
Amen, Storm. You ain't never lied.
Yep.
That's the truth.
Much
Damn
respect, dude.
So real quick, and we got one more caller to get to. We're going to get to Raider Kojo after this. The only thing I would say about that is that where I hear your criticism of Mark Davis. There's look, results are results, and so we'll keep our feelings out of the facts, right? And the facts are not great,
right?
I will say this, that no one's a bigger Raider fan than Mark Davis. No one loves the Raiders more than Mark Davis. So Mark Davis has every intention to make the Raiders as great as they possibly can be. He, I don't feel, has ever entered into a partnership with an employee of the team, whether it's coach or front office personnel or anything else, with his ego invested. He is all about the bigger picture of the Raiders, and that's why he hires people to take over the football operations and the on-field and all that kind of stuff. So I like the criticism of Davis, I think it should be measured at a minimum. And frankly, in the bottom line, he's not going anywhere. Like, Mark Davis is going to own this football team until the day he's not Mark Davis anymore. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So it's an interesting concept to think about. Now, can we be critical about his frequency around some of this stuff? I think that's a fair conversation.
Sure.
Is that like we talked about early on in the show tonight, once it starts to go a direction, let's not ride it out to the bottom of the hill. Like, let's, or you know what I mean? Or all the way to the surface. Let's go ahead and hit the eject button halfway down and see if we can make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's where I kind of come out as a fan. You guys have any comments on that? And then we'll move on to the last call. No? Okay. Yeah. All right. Last up, let's check in with our good buddy, Raider Kojo. Love hearing his voicemails. And this is the last one for the night before we award the Sizzler Award, which we hand out to the best emailer or phone caller of the night.
Salute RFR. This is your boy Raider Kojo calling again. So the motto of our team used to be just win, baby. Now it's just lose lately and often.
Oh, jeez. Ouch.
I don't know what we're doing here. Now we got, feedbacks coming to Devontae Adams and telling them, hey, we know what play you guys are going to run, or we know what play you ran, all the plays that you ran, we knew what you guys were doing. I'm like, that's pretty sad when you have a defensive back coming to the Devontae Adams to tell him, hey, we know what your coach is calling. That is sad, McDaniels. Come on, bro. You need to do better than that. We're dropping point-blank pick sixes. That would have changed the game, And since 1994, ever since they implemented the 2-point conversion, we're the only team to kick a field goal when we were down by 8. So we needed a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Terrible.
McDaniels decided to kick a field goal and then hope our defense can stop them again and we can go down and score. It's just like one bad decision after another. And, this Sunday we're playing the Chargers, and I keep, some people say maybe O'Connell might play. Others saying that, Hoyer's going to play. Well,
He
couldn't even stop him laughing.
I mean, the Chargers are going to probably drop 70 on us like the Dolphins did on the Donkeys Sunday. Or if we get Aiden O'Connell, we might have a chance. But if we get steamrolled again on Sunday, I don't know. I know McDaniel said, Mark Davis says he wants to keep the coach around for a long time. Well, you better have a meeting on Sunday. If we get steamrolled by the Chargers, you need to have a meeting, and we need to figure something out because we can't keep doing this with McDaniels. I know he wants stability, but McDaniels, right now, he's not it. He's too predictable, and he might lose that locker room soon. So,
Come on.
Watch out, boys and girls. We get steamrolled on Sunday by the Chargers, somebody's head's going to roll.
It's got to.
But, until next time, I'll call back again, see what happens next week. All right. Raider Kojo out.
Nice.
Good job, Kojo.
Yep. Respect, dude.
Well, So let's go ahead and hand out the Sizzler. So that goes over to my buddy, my best friend in your swag, Jeff, who he takes the best of the emailers or phone callers of the night. And I'll just say this real quick before we hand out the Sizzler for the night. We're down bad. You can hear it.
Yeah.
You hear anger. You hear frustration. You hear deflation. Yeah. You hear so many emotions and like that. I understand like where everyone has come from tonight. And all we'll say is that let's hang in there together. Like let's keep it about the collective as best we can and defer it away from the on-field performance because if we just go to what it looks like on the field, like Raider Kojo just said, we might get steamrolled in LA in a freaking home game. And you want to talk about down bad from the Steelers? Let us do that at a home game against a division rival that's not a very good football team, other than their offense is pretty legit. I'm telling you, what's
concerning is
this could get uglier.
That's a really solid possibility, and I think
right?
that's what is
what
so
evidence
terrifying.
do we have otherwise, Michelle, to tell us it's going to be different?
That's what's so terrifying is that you'd like to go into a game thinking we're going to dominate this, we've got it, we can do this, we can do that, but my faith and confidence in the coaching staff it's nil at this point.
Yeah, well, you look at last week's game, I mean, the Raiders played Sunday night. So, I mean, if you have YouTube TV and NFL Sunday Ticket, you were watching all the games.
Yeah.
And I got to watch the Chargers win despite their shitty-ass head coach. Like, I mean...
Right?
Like,
only the Vikings can out-Charger the Chargers.
Totally. I couldn't agree more, man. So, like... I mean, like, I'm telling you, like what I said earlier, we got to score points. I mean, that team is going to put up points.
Because they put up points.
I hate Justin Herbert. I hate that guy maybe more than any guy that I've ever hated. You know what I mean?
Of Phillip Rivers.
I was going to say,
like,
and Carson Palmer.
I was going to say, what about Carson Palmer?
He's overhyped,
but,
like, I mean,
he's still putting up
He'll make
numbers.
some throws, too.
He'll make some plays. He'll
Yeah.
do some stuff, man. But, like, I mean, come on, man. Like, the offense, like, let's go. Let's go. Because they're going to put up the points, against our defense. It's going to happen.
Put him on his back.
Let's
go. He's got to go down. He's got to go down hard.
Thank you. Let's bring back the Raiders.
Immediately.
Let's bring back the Raiders.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Bring it back.
Let's do
All
it.
right, Swag Jeff.
Yeah,
all right. So, hey.
Get us out of here. We've gone on too long.
My gosh, we've gone on so long. Yeah, because
Sorry.
we're 13 minutes away from a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
A 3-hour show.
So, hey, amazing emails. I mean, holy cow. Like,
Yeah,
so good.
The
tonight.
Sea of Fans
Sea of
mailbag.
Fans crushed it tonight.
guys
Emails,
rule.
phone calls, everything like badass, bro. Like, much respect. Like, I mean, there was a lot of negativity, but there was a lot of solid content, bro.
Venting.
Like,
Venting. Thank you.
venting.
We were venting.
This is a therapy session for all of us. And
We're
going
to get like the therapy chicken here,
Yeah.
or the trust
you
chicken.
can't harbor
telling
that or it'll turn to sickness. You got to get it out.
Get it out.
Oh, let's go.
I love that,
Gotta
Michelle.
get it out.
So, hey, much respect to the emailers tonight, in no particular order. Hooligan Nation, Vegas Raider Pete, DJ Lenny Danger, Carl Howard, the Mangus Boys, Stacy Ruff, YO Raider, T-Hom, and Paul, of course. And then the voicemails we heard from Just Win Wendy, Mojo, Rob Vega, Chuck Splatterhead McCann, the caller in the 559, Josh in the 703, Storm and Raider Kojo. Tonight, I'm getting a knife and I'm going to cut the Sizzler in half.
Okay, I like it.
There were some good
Cutting
stuff.
the
yeah.
Sizzler in half.
It is Halloween season.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Go on, Michael Myers on the
Michael
Sizzler.
Myers.
Yeah. So tonight's Sizzler Awards are going to a couple of callers. Great takes. One was just 1,000,000% amazing. Another one made me about piss my pants. It was so funny. Tonight's Sizzler Award winners go to Just Win Wendy and Mojo.
Hey, nice job.
Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Shave your balls with Manscaped.
And don't let Keenan Allen score a whole bunch of touchdowns.
Oh, you know what?
He doesn't have to shave his head because
Hey.
he ain't got no hair.
Hey, you know what?
He looked just like this.
You know what? Yeah. You know what I'm ready for?
Me and Keenan Allen got a lot in common.
You have so much
Except he runs better
common.
routes than
Hey.
I do.
Hey.
But we both have dope ass beards and bald heads.
Yeah, you do. Hey, so you know what I'm screaming?
You're talking. You're not screaming.
You're not screaming. Scream. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna be hungry on Sunday.
Let's go, Jeff.
You know what's for dinner on Sunday?
Barbecue.
Barbecue chicken.
Oh,
Barbecue chicken. Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's
do it.
go.
Come on,
Let's
man. We
go.
can't lose
Come
the Chargers,
on.
Michelle.
This is what's so. Hold on. This is what's so embarrassing for me.
Get that shit.
Oh,
out.
get it. Do it.
I still believe we can beat the Chargers. I still believe we can win a lot of games. I mean, listen, send in the effing clowns. I don't even care. We can win this game.
You know what? Clowns can beat the Chargers.
Even clowns can beat the Chargers.
Can beat the Chargers.
So
You
the
know what I'm-
Raiders
you know what I'm
better
screaming.
bring it.
Oh my gosh. Let's do it. All right. Let's go, Raiders. Turn it around. We're 2-2.
We can
2-2.
do this.
We can do this.
I still believe in this team. I still do.
What else are we gonna do?
What else are we gonna do?
What else are we gonna do?
I mean,
We're
if
gonna stop
I'm
rooting
being
for it?
a little technical, we are still on track for my 13-4. I'm just saying.
You're not mathematically eliminated yet.
I'm telling you.
Yet.
Yeah. Shout out Scott and Mo.
I'm not yet
Shout out Scott
mathematically
and Mo.
eliminated.
All right, appreciate everybody that's in the chat room tonight. Appreciate all the amazing donations we got. I'll let. Do you have them written down, Jeff? All the folks that donated tonight.
I know Pineapple, Hooligan Nation, of
Intel.
course, Intel with the $100 donation. I know Tyrone Graves had a couple buck donation. Much respect.
So everybody, and I'm sorry we
it's
didn't
all-
keep up with it tonight, but appreciate
It's all
all.
going to the One Nation Foundation, and
Absolutely.
that's really what it's
Yeah.
all about. Michelle, what you got?
No, that was it. Listen, I think we can win this game. We have to. We have to win this game. Period. That's it.
The
Just
end.
win, baby. Just do it. Get out there. Play for your teammates, even if you're not playing for the damn coach. Play for the teammates.
Hey man, that's a great way to put it. And you know, it's a big deal. Like we kind of felt like last week was a must-win for the Raiders in terms of the way that the context of the season is going to unfold. But listen, if we go to 1-3, and that 3 is the freaking Chargers,
A division game.
right?
You
it's
gotta
gonna
win
get
those.
ugly really freaking fast, Raiders. So let's get this shit back under control. Let's hear a different spirit from the team. Like, I'd love to hear a different spirit instead of that downtrodden nature. And listen, I get why you're downtrodden, because we all downtrodden. But
Yeah.
we got to lift the spirits back up, man. Otherwise, this thing's going to go down the toilet quick. And I'll say the final thing. If you're not going to have Hunter Renfrow involved, build
Ship him
draft
off.
capital.
Yeah.
That's it.
What are we doing, Raiders? Are we building for the future? Is the greatness of the Raiders in its future? Or is it in this current losing state? Anyways, I'll save that soapbox. Swag Jeff, take us on out of here. We love you, Raider Nation. Thank you guys for joining us for this damn 3-hour show. You're the freaking best. All of our callers, all the emailers. Yeah, that's all I got.
Absolutely. Well, the greatness of the Raiders might be number 4. You know?
Oh.
So Jimmy Garoppolo, if you can't go, why don't you nudge the coach and tell him to put in the kid? Hey, thanks everyone for tuning in for another episode of Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side, sometimes journey into the dark side. Don't forget, boys and girls, what happens in Vegas, it started in Oakland. Much respect. Love you guys. See you. Bye.
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 Get on YouTube.
See you. Bye. Let's beat the freaking Chargers.
I mean, really?
Jackass mother's truckers.
Chargers.
We can't lose the Chargers.
And shave your nuts with Manscaped.
Oh, yeah.
Promo code Murf.
20% off.
Make it happen.
Make it happen, Captain.
Can't lose the Chargers, you guys. No. That's going to be so bad.
I swear next week.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't, please.
Take the
For
shit out of those fools.
For the show's sake.
We heard Murph get mad on Silver and Black today last week.
Oh,
Let's not do it again.
Don't do that to Murph.
I don't
Why
want-
would they do that to you?
Don't do that to my
Wendy.
best friend, bro.
Don't do it to Wendy.
Wendy.
Don't
Wendy.
do that.
Wendy.
Precious Wendy.
Make it happen,
Don't
Captain.
do that to her.
Leave Wendy alone.
Listen, hands off.